special one today, folks. Finally doing our year-end Arsenal season review. Go over some awards, who was the best at certain things. Not too many negatives here. We're the real ones. But, yeah, I want to welcome Miss Molina. She made the good thumbnail for it. Top
Big up, everyone.
female Gooner, because we know who's number one. And I got my Odegaard at the back. We got Luke Morrison. He was my buddy on Across the Pond Sports Talk. How you doing, Luke?
Yep, not too bad, thank you.
And Josh, of course. This guy should win Arsenal Gunner, YouTuber, Arsenal stuff of the year every year. He's still what? You're not even 18, or you just turning 18?
Nah, 17 still, Moss.
Oh.
Still a kid, bro.
Yeah, good head on his shoulders. Big ups, Josh from True Gooner channel.
Big up, Moss, man. Happy to make my debut on your channel, man. And
yeah. He's
great,
in our
bro.
WhatsApp group. He does a great job at YouTube, and good to have you on, Josh.
Yeah, man.
Big up, everybody. Thanks for tuning in.
First off, we did 7 hours this morning. Goddamn hockey didn't work out. It's Czechia versus Swiss tomorrow in the hockey final. No Canada. Oh, my God. But anyway, what did you guys think of the FA Cup today? Maybe Luke started off. It's kind of brutal, Manchester teams.
Yeah, I was impressed.
There we go, Dave. Big up, Dave. Old school gunner.
All right, guys. What's happening?
Big up, Dave, man.
Big up, Dave.
King might join us too eventually. Sorry, go ahead, Luke. Oh, someone's got their phone on.
Or echo, guys.
Yes. Who is it?
Someone's got two tabs, I think.
He's got it.
That was me.
Luke, what's up, man?
Okay, yes.
What do you think of the Manchester FA Cup? Maybe give your lowdown on your general thoughts of our season too with FA Cup.
Yeah, well, the FA Cup final was a pleasant surprise, wasn't it, really? I was kind of expecting it to be over within 10 minutes, like it was last weekend with the title running with City. But City just didn't really turn up today, did they? And I think my overriding thoughts were, why couldn't one of the many teams City played actually bothered to actually try? Because I don't think they did. Why couldn't they have played like this? It's just one of those games in that title run.
Luke and Jordan. Sorry, Joe. Sorry, Luke.
Yeah, I was supposed to make it all because all I ever think about is Arsenal most of the time. So to make it all Arsenal, yeah, just happy that City didn't win it. Not happy that United won it, but just happy that City lost.
Yeah, with that, I mean, I'm happy to kind of United, but they're catching us in freaking FA Cups.
Yeah,
they're one behind.
We got to win one next year. We got to win one of those FA Cups. What do you think, Josh? The FA Cup and just how the season ended in general?
Yeah, I mean, starting well, obviously, with the FA Cup today. As Luke said, I was shocked, really, how Man United would beat City. Obviously, you had all the talk before about Ten Hag. Is he going to get sacked after the final? What's going to happen with him? And then he goes and wins the final with them. And I thought, they deserved to win the finals there as well. I thought it was the better side. I thought they defended really well. You had Martinez and Varane had a very, defensive masterclass. I thought,
it's a good way to sum it up. Sorry, Josh, Mr. Tom. A team I hate beat a team I don't respect. That sums it up nicely.
That sums it up perfectly there, man. Honestly, there's I don't know. It's like, yeah, of course, we don't want to see Man United win a trophy. Considering that they won the Carabao Cup as well last season, and they got to the final of the FA Cup last season as well. To see them do it to win the FA Cup, it makes me feel a bit sick as well. But as Mel rightly said, and you said as well, Moss, like they're one behind us now. Obviously we lead the FA Cups 14, but now they've won one. They're on 13. So yeah,
we got to get it back. We got to get it back.
We have to, man. And overall,
me
thoughts
and
of the
Luke
season.
love this FA Cup. Us oldies, we love the FA Cup. Dave probably does too.
Yeah, man. FA, even myself. I mean, that's what I've grown, because obviously, I'm 17. Like, I've only seen Arsenal win FA Cups, Moss. Like,
yeah, I guess.
That's the memories. Like, when we beat Hull City 3-2, we beat Aston Villa 5-0, beat Chelsea 2-1, beat Chelsea again with Arteta. So that's what I've grew up seeing us win FA Cups. So it's like, it's still a special trophy for me, and we have to take it seriously next season. But overall thoughts on the season for me, I think obviously it's disappointing that we got runners up again. But I look at it this way: I feel like there's definitely a lot of progression in this Arsenal side. When you just look at it this way, guys, we've had more wins than the Invincibles team this season. Yeah, we've kept the most sheets in the Premier League. We've had the best defensive record in the Premier League. I think we had more goal difference. I think we might have had more goal difference, but I think City scored more goals. But anyway,
it's one of the best goal differences ever, is it not, Luke?
Well, for us, I would imagine so. Yeah,
I think it's our best goal difference ever.
Yeah, I think so. And like we was unbeaten against the big six as well. Like we beat City at the Emirates, we beat Liverpool, and we're still sat here with second place. It's crazy. It just shows you what we're up against in Man City. And also there's games where, we look back on it, feel like if only, I know it's if buts and maybes, but if only we beat Villa, if only we beat Fulham, if only we beat West Ham, we would have won the league. So I've been overall impressed with the team and how we've developed in terms of last season. We saw Arsenal drop off. We're 8 points clear and we completely capitulated. And now this season we went down to the wire. And that's what you can really ask for, is this Arsenal team go down to the wire.
Now they know how that feels. We know how the Champions League feels again with these young guys. We know how going to the end feels like.
My only, if I had to pick my only negative from this season is the fact that we haven't won a trophy, and the fact I'm going to talk about Carabao Cup and FA Cup and feel like I believe we could have gone much further. I believe we could have won the Carabao Cup, and I would have taken a League Cup. Yeah, we've won two in our history. Yeah, I want to go and take the League Cup. People call it Mickey Mouse Cup all they want. I still think it's a trophy at the end of the day. It's the same. It's the same with the FA Cup. Like, we got knocked out in the early rounds, and that's just unacceptable for the size of Arsenal Football Club. So that's my only real negative I'll say on this season is I believe we could have gone further in the FA Cup and Carabao Cup. I believe we could have won them. But no, I feel like overall decent season, man. We're seeing our defense improve massively with Gabriel and Saliba. They've been immense. I stand by the fact that Gabriel and Saliba, for me, the best partnership in not just Premier League but in Europe in general. They've been absolutely superb this season. And as I said, defensively, we kept the most clean sheets. The signings came in. Kai Havertz completely proved me wrong, man. I was so critical of this guy. I was like 65 million. Yeah, because I said that because I saw him at Chelsea for 3 years. I'm like, the guy's inconsistent. He's coming to Arsenal and he's been superb, man. So I mean, ever since we played him down the middle. So overall, happy to see progress, but it's about now Arsenal being successful in terms of winning trophies next season, man.
100%. Dave, old school Dave. First off, what do you think of your work? And probably understand, but you probably getting the gist of what went down. And I know what Luke's talking about too. I get frustrated that you see how teams can beat City. I mean, we beat City, Liverpool beat City, and it's like the mid-table and lower table. It's like they're already defeated before they come in to play these guys. So yeah, it was nice to see Manchester United win. But go ahead, old school Dave, and just
I was actually hoping. I was actually hoping that Manchester City were going to hammer them because that's what I wanted to see. But I'd be perfectly honest. I don't like United. I'd be perfectly honest. I was just hoping that Manchester City were going to absolutely demolish them. So I was kind of disappointed. But yeah, I was working like a lunatic today. I'm going to speak honestly, guys. Anyone that knows me, I talk straight. But all due respect to Ten Hag and United on the win, it's been a very difficult season for them, and they did well to pull that one out of the hat. I mean, you gotta say that. I have to be fair. I wanted to see them demolished, but they did well. You know what I mean? You've got to say that, right? Because they've had a very rough season. My buddy here in Switzerland was texting me because he's a bit of a United fan. Chris Lee, he likes Basel and United. I mean, and Bayern. I mean, what a combination. But anyway, he was texting me like, "Oh, United won the FA Cup and all this." I was like, "Yeah." He was banging on about Rashford then. Like, I mean, oh my god. Anyway, enough said. He loves Rashford. Arsenal. I'm going to talk a little bit about us and what happened at the end of the season. I was happy with the improvement that has happened with the team. I think we've improved on last season, definitely. Very, very disappointing what happened at the end of the season. Obviously, I'm not the only one that felt that way. It was I knew it was coming. I could see it coming. Like on the last game, I knew it was already out of our reach. City were like, they just got the momentum behind them. They went on a run, and they just cannot be stopped. We had a good season. There has been improvement. The highlight for me was really getting to where we got in the Champions League, as I mentioned before on other people's channels when I have had the opportunity to guest. I loved the win over Porto. I mean, that was a real highlight for me. That was the real high point, I thought, in the season when we got through and we played Porto, when we beat them in the second leg at the Emirates, and then we got through to the Bayern game. But I think it's going to take a hell of a lot for us to win a league title under Mikel Arteta. And that's no slight at him or any of the players that we have. I think the level of competition at the moment, like, guys, I've been supporting the club since 1993. A hell of a long time, guys. And I remember what it was like back then, yeah. And when we won the league title in 98, when we won the league title in 92, we did the doubles. And that fantastic team in 98 with Vieira, Petit. But right now, it's changed so much. Manchester City have come to the fore. I think it's, what have they won? Like 6 of the last 7. And Liverpool won the other one under Klopp. They've won 6 of the last 7. Chelsea had their purple patch. I mean, they also won the Champions League, became the first team in London to win it. Then City came to the fore. If we could win one, I think it would be a massive achievement. And that's not taking a slide at Arteta or the team, because it's just so competitive right now. And City are so strong. It's just, football has changed completely. Yeah? The game has changed completely the way I see it. And we've Arteta has brought us back some way to where we used to be before. But we've got a month in the time, I think, to actually land the title, in my opinion. Next season, we have to do it all again. We have to start at 0. But we need to have a good transfer window. If we don't have a good transfer window, it's going to be difficult for us. I don't know how Liverpool are going to fare with their new coach. I don't know what United are going to do if Ten Hag is still in charge. I think he will be there at the start of next season. Newcastle, Villa, of course, under Unai Emery. It's going to be difficult for us, is all I can say. With the great players that we have, yeah. I just think it's going to be tricky. And I always think positive, guys. But look, I'm proud of the way the team played this season, yeah. And it was the performances. We slipped up a couple of times. But I was happy with the team. You know, they're kind of bringing back the feel-good factor. There was a lot of excitement surrounding the team. Not just because we were pushing for the league title at a certain point. I have to say, it was kind of bringing back, like before some of the games, I had butterflies in my stomach, like when I was a 16-year-old. You know what I mean? Watching them back in the day.
It's been a long time.
It's bringing back the feel-good factor, man. Well, I just want to say one more thing as well. Congratulations to Switzerland today, beating Canada in the ice hockey.
Oh,
Beautiful win, lads.
comment.
Gorgeous win. I'm over here in Switzerland. It was just, to be honest, some of the ice
Party
hockey
tonight, but they got a big game tomorrow right away.
Am I allowed to say this on your channel? I'm not sure, but some of the ice hockey played today by Switzerland, honestly, it was bordering on sexual. It was that good. I mean,
It was a red-white. It was a red-white hockey.
clean talks, hockey sticks flying all over the place. The goalie was just, you know what I mean? It was a thing. It was a beautiful thing. I actually cried at the end. It was very emotional.
Well,
Great win for Switzerland. Yeah, I mean, they really. If I had a
Red
Swiss
and
jersey
white.
nowadays, I would have it on. You know what I mean?
after that, we need some Canadian content. We need Miss Belinda. And I think another thing she'd probably agree on, Dave, was that Porto being one of the main best moments. I mean, I know it was mine being there. And thanks again, Belinda.
Respect to Canada, though, man. Respect to Canada. They played well.
Dave also brought up bringing that feeling back. And out of all of us, Canadian Gooder Bell, she's getting season tickets. She's been to a massive amount of games this year. So I bet you feel it in the stadium.
I'd love to be as rich as that. Oh,
people that go to matches are all, you know, they all tell that
the stories and come in.
negatives. Like, you're not at the match, you're not here in the hype. Like, the fans are so excited. And Melina could give us a little bit of that and what she thought of today and the end of our season.
I think today was extremely disappointing for me. I can't stand Man United. My mom supports Man United, and for her to have the audacity to say, "Oh, we've had a better season than you."
Oh, when you're firing your manager, really?
Yeah, and I said, hold on, you finished 8th. You finished 8th place. and we
Big up
finished second place
Christos. Come
and
tomorrow,
challenged
Chris.
back to back for a trophy. What have
Rosie.
we've challenged for Premier League title. Sure, you've won a trophy, but your dressing room is a mess. You still have a mole in your dressing room, whether it was Sancho or if there's more players. You have signings that don't want to play for you, and clearly show it on the pitch. You have someone, Anthony. You have fidget spinners at your club. We have players who want to play for us and top quality Premier League proven Premier League signings, top quality signings. Look at the consistency of Declan Rice, worth every penny we paid for. And sure, some of the players aren't Premier League proven. This whole Premier League proven thing is a myth. But the signings we have, Arteta has made it work, and we have a team of unity, a team that wants to play competitive football and challenge to take back to back. This season, guys, it's been a friggin' roller coaster. I went to, I think, 18 games this season, or sorry, I think it's 16 games this season I've been to, and including the Charity Shield at the start of the season. We started the season off with a trophy. It's a shame we couldn't end the season with the Premier League title, but this season was a roller coaster. First off, to take Moss to his first Champions League Arsenal game, I'll never ever forget seeing him so happy to be there and with Luke.
So drunk.
Guys, we had such a good night out. We were chanting the whole streets of North London, and no one could say nothing to us. It was
damn Porto Chelsea fans. I was giving it to those Porto Chelsea.
That was like one of the highlights of the season, the Porto penalty shootout. To be right close to see it happen. I didn't even have to wear my glasses. That's how close I was. I could see everything crystal clear, and that was one of my favorite moments. Also, going to Munich away. It was my first European away, and I really enjoyed it. But I think one thing I liked the most this season was the fact that we had to make other fans evacuate their stadium as if there was a fire. A lot of 5-0, 6-0, clearing out stadiums this season. High-scoring games. And
our road game was awesome.
Trossard in the Champions League, such a clutch player on or off the bench. He's an instant impact player. And this season, he's shown how much, if you give him the opportunity, he will deliver. So I know there's a lot of progress, as Josh said. We beat the Invincibles record via winning the glove in his first season at Arsenal. Coming from Brentford to us, guys. I hold my hands up 100% on here. When we first signed David Raya, I said, "Why the hell are we spending money on another goalkeeper?"
I thought it was weird.
This is going to be the Leno Martinez situation all over again. What the hell are we doing? And then after that Luton game where we were 3-3 and then Rice scored the winner, I said, "Oh, I owe this brother an apology because boy was I wrong."
He is good at pens, isn't he? Too.
The way his composure with those penalties, to see that live, it was incredible. And it's no disrespect to people who cannot go to games. It's a whole different feel when you see the game live. It's like we have behind the screen.
Dave, you have your phone on?
Yeah, there's an echo. I'm not sure from where. Someone may have the stream on.
Phone on?
But guys, this season I think there was a lot of improvements we made. There was a lot to look forward to for next season. And I do want to say there were some disappointments.
We're awesome.
There were some disappointing moments where we could have gone further in the League Cups. I don't know why Arteta doesn't take those cups seriously.
Yeah, he's gotta, and it'll be fully his team. Like the last little remnants of Cedric and a few players getting out this year. Who knows if it sounds like Party's out. Josh was kind of saying that on his show today. True good. Maybe Party is really out the door if we re-sign Georgie, and I think we're going to make a substantial get in midfield, spend some more money in the midfield on someone for sure. So, yeah, overall, I thought the season was good. It was progression. I said top 2 the year before, and everyone thought I was crazy, and we were second. We kind of fizzled out. Saliba got hurt. I think Saliba, once in a while I'm scrolling MVP votes on the banners as well, who we think MVP. It can only fit 4, like I said, in the poll. But, yeah, get your votes in on the poll. Hit likes. All 3 channels are on King's Football Show. He might join us in a bit when he gets home. But, the MVP votes, yeah, I mean, I had those 6. Like when you're thinking it's hard to choose between 6 players, you're having a good season. Like when 6 different guys, you could think were maybe our MVP this year. We'll have a bunch of different ones, but yeah, everyone keep thinking about their MVP, and maybe in the chat put MVP and dash or in brackets, whatever you chose, what you choose in the chat, and we'll add it to it as well. But we'll try on most of these awards to kind of come to a consensus. But yeah, first give your first opinion when we go through them. But yeah, I just think it is like what you guys said too. We progressed. Like I think what Luke saw too, that we didn't choke down the stretch that we're famous for, our sends Februaries and our it's been Aprils, and things like that. We didn't see that, and I think that impressed Luke, for once, and saw that we're better. I think we were kind of doing the Liverpool the year before. Maybe people agree or not, but the year before we were kind of the Liverpool rock and roll football, and we kind of fizzled out. Like we were so hard, like 100 miles an hour, and pressing was so good. But this year we showed we can beat teams many different ways, and everyone was honest for what we did at Old Trafford. Well, sometimes let's show we're pragmatic. You got to be in Champions League too, pragmatic.
Our defense was so solid. None of our defenders were the partnership of Gabriel Magalhaes and William Saliba, for both of them to not get injured and to play the season with them fully. And we didn't choke the league like last season where we choked the league early. We took City until the final day of the season. And for us to even be able to do that still shows how far we've come and how far we have yet to go in terms of we'll still continue to build off of this. We'll still continue to add to this and get rid of some of the dead wood that no longer suit the system or suit the level that we need them to be at. Some of these players really need out the door, with all due respect.
I just want to address the comments I've been seeing online and a couple in here as well, though. The idea that Manchester United have had a better season than us is just complete nonsense. I mean, 4 years ago, we finished 8th.
So many people are contradicting themselves when we had that FA Cup there, but they're saying we're so shit for being 8th,
We saved our season by winning the FA Cup, qualifying for Europe, because going into that game, we weren't playing European football. We had to win, we had to beat Chelsea that day to qualify for Europa League. That's how bad of a season we'd had. Man United had the exact same scenario today. We were much happier as Arsenal fans throughout the season than they were. They were an absolute mess. There was only one team in Premier League history that
the most shots ever, I think.
And that was Derby County, who were the worst team statistically ever in the history of the Premier League. So the idea that Man United
was taking shots like fucking JFK, man.
I'm sorry, I can't
everywhere and all over.
Anyway, I can't take anyone seriously that has said that. The only Arsenal fans that are saying that are the Arsenal haters who are really Arsenal fans, and they'll sit on streams like this with wooden spoons like some fucking idiots. They might as well have a tin foil hat on. So no, I'm not having it for me.
Josh, you got something to add to what are out there?
Come on, Josh, hit us with it. You're holding back, Josh. Stop holding back. You always hold back, man. Just tell us how you feel.
You got a wooden spoon back there too. You got wooden spoons somewhere.
Nah, man, I'm not doing the wooden spoon stuff, Dave, man. No. None of that, bro. None of that.
Tony Claude though was hanging with all those guys. Jesus. I like that guy.
Yeah, big up Tony, man.
No comment.
Like he's awesome. Come on.
No comment.
Anyway, he left, and then that old fucker came on. Never mind. But yeah, Dave, you got some dad that kind of went around after we talked. But yeah, we'll get into the awards here too right away.
Yeah. Arse might get splinters.
Arse might get splinters. Josh was
no, Josh didn't say anything.
We're getting there. Everyone agrees. Everyone agrees. We got to add a League Cup or an FA Cup, man. But me and Bargav always argues too, and I'm like, man, yeah, Champions League. That's got to be our number one focus. I think this kind of manager that's been showing he can win different ways. We got to get in the, and who knows what this new Champions League proper is going to be like. Like me and Josh talked, was on his chat a little bit earlier. I put it in there, like format. Maybe that'll work better for us than being in a little group, and we'll show we can beat different kinds of teams, different ways. And
I have sorry to interrupt you, Moss.
It may hurt our Premier League run a bit.
I have a question. Yeah, what do you think about the talk of Mikel Arteta going back to Manchester City at some point and coaching them?
I doubt it.
No, I don't think so.
No.
Don't see it happening, Dave.
But you heard about those rumors, right? I mean, what did you all think about that? Your opinions? I mean,
I think that's a load of
Pep has always said if the club has been cheating that he would leave. So
I think Arteta will sign a new contract soon. But don't you think the barometer, as people say, like, you know, Chelsea, they're after a new manager because all they're used to is sacking and hiring and hiring managers.
Chelsea's had 5 jobs today. 5 since January 2023.
One of their requirements they're looking for is a young manager like Mikel Arteta. It's crazy how our own fan base is putting down someone that's brought us from 8th, 5th to 2nd with the rubbish we had. We had Socrates, Kolasinac, Mustafi. We were in the dumps of the dumps.
And any club in the world would take this guy.
Yeah.
This young good manager with a good head on his shoulder. Anyone would take him. I don't know. He's my guy. If we, sure, there's maybe better tacticians right there, right now than him in the world. I can admit that. But no matter who we brought in, even if it's Ancelotti or anyone, it's a step back first, because he's got young guys all behind him and going, and we're going like this. No matter what, you make a change, you take a step down immediately, and then you can go up again. But
perhaps
they can go hairy on you too. You can be in a Chelsea cycle.
Well, these people, these Arsenal fans that think United have had a better season, perhaps they want Ten Hag in then. Sack Arteta and get Ten Hag in if that's
if he's so great and he won a cup.
Yeah,
and
we can be like how he was on Doing.
He's not a good manager, man. Ten Hag is not a good coach. He is not.
He's good for Ajax. I think he's good with young up and coming ballers. He's good. He crushed with Ajax. Then they've sold players nonstop for 3 years. Ajax.
Moss, has he won 7 trophies in a row or something? Ten Hag as well.
Yeah, they were winning everything, Ajax, with all the young crew, and then he sold. Look how much they sold. They made tons of money, Ajax, selling to Premier League and everywhere.
But that's what I expect them to say the next time they're on their stream. If they want to talk up Man United being better than us, having a better season, okay. Well, you want Arteta sacked every 2 minutes, so you can advocate for Ten Hag to be his replacement then.
Yeah. So everyone in the chat, let us know MVPs, let us know everything. Sorry, Dave, I cut you off there. But we'll get into a couple of them here. I'll let Dave go first.
You did cut me off, but you know what I mean. I let it go this time. I let it slide because we beat you in the hockey, so it's fine.
First off, Luke was cheering for Canada. Come on, we got a lot of Canada here. Italian hockey. They didn't make the top nations for hockey, but Great Britain got relegated, so maybe Italy will be back in there next time.
Don't get me started now about Great Britain. Okay.
Great Britain.
Irishman. Don't get me started about that. I'm not going to get into it.
Should we start with player of the season or with?
Well, we'll wait on MVP, but in the chat, put down MVP who you thought. I've been scrolling it on the bottom.
What a guard.
Hold on. How about we start with signing of the season?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Let's start with last summer. These were the guys we brought in last summer. Rice, some guy named Rice from, I think he played at West Ham. He cost a coin or two. Some timber guy from Ajax, thought was amazing signing. I was like, I'm buying his jersey. Oh my God, he's hurt bad. But I heard he was coming back and working hard. I bought his Champions League jersey when me and Mel were there, the blue-green one. I walked into the bathroom at Emirates. I yelled, "Fresh timber!" Everyone started laughing. They're like, "You picked that guy for a jersey?" I was like, "Yeah." Fresh timber. Yeah, they were laughing. They're like, "You're gonna get kicked out." And anyways, Raya, we're gonna count that, even though we just put a little bit money down on layaway and we're paying up our bill this summer.
Yeah,
And
he's
Kai
not getting
Havertz, I mean,
permanent.
how much did he get ripped in our own fan base, calling him names like they used to with
More
Odegaard?
goals
They
than
still call
Nicholas-
Odegaard names. Oh, my goodness.
More GA than Nicholas Jackson, Chelsea fans.
Jesus.
And look,
and
Mason Mount,
be honest,
Mason
me
Mount
and
and
Luke,
Havertz
we
leave
put it
Chelsea,
down.
and
Though.
they both win.
You didn't put him
trophies.
down. Bargeb didn't put him down. Lots of people did. I think Josh even admitted. I was like 65 million. Are you kidding? I was like, we could get him for 50. Chelsea's desperate.
I think
What are we
20
doing?
goal involvements in 37 appearances.
Excellent.
And his last 2 seasons at Chelsea, he had 19 goal involvements for 64 appearances.
Kai, for the whole, like all comps, 51 starts. So 21.
Or let me put it this
14
way.
goals, 7
Kai
assists.
Havertz has scored more Premier League goals for Arsenal than Richarlison has in 2 seasons at Tottenham Hotspur.
Pretty funny if you put it that way. But yeah, let's start to my right. I guess it's my right. No, and there it's this one. Let's go to Luke. Obviously, I think most experts in the press and everyone are saying Declan, but it gives you a chance to talk about him too, if anything.
Yeah, I think the best signing was Declan Rice because I think he settled in. Obviously, Timber we didn't see, so
Can't count.
Rice settled in a lot quicker than what Raya and Havertz did. He was up to the pace. He was winning man of the matches within a few weeks. I think his general level of play was much higher throughout the season, more consistent. So I think he would be definitely my pick for best signing. But Kai Havertz definitely gave him a good run for his money. You know, those last sort of couple of months, he really did improve. So he does deserve a mention for that.
Josh?
Yeah, I have to go with Declan Rice. I think he's got to be the best signing. I think he's elevated our squad massively. He's elevated the midfield massively. He's a clutch player as well. I mean, he's turned up in the big games. He's turned up in the big moments. Even last minute goals against United and Luton this season. He's been there, man. He's been that main guy. Just everything about him. He's just money well spent, and he's definitely lived up. And I even think beyond his price tag, man, 100 million was a lot, but well spent for me. Elevated our squad massively, and it's got to be him. But I think Havertz, as I said before, I criticized the guy a lot because at the time I was thinking as other options, like I wanted James Maddison when he's at Leicester. We could have got him 40 million. So I was like, oh, we could have got him. But now I'm sitting there thinking, nah, man, Havertz came in, completely made me eat my words. Completely got my hands up to the guy. Yeah, and this guy's been excellent, especially as he centre forward. And again, he's another player who has turned up in the big moments. How many times he's come off the bench and saved us against Brentford twice this season? Yeah, he can come on and change games even if you don't start the guy. But I'm really liking the guy down at centre forward. I think he's a big player to Arteta as well because if you notice the way how he press, him and Odegaard seem to always be the main two that always press. So he's a big part to how we play, man. And I think he's a very honourable mention, really. I think he's been excellent, and I completely hold my hands up to the guy. I thought when we first signed him, obviously we put him in the left centre mid role. I didn't really like him in the deep midfield role. As soon as Arteta has changed him to centre forward, he's been cooking there, and excellent season for him. And obviously the other two, Raya, I thought.
Did we lose Josh? Come on, he's the big YouTuber. He's a big timer.
Well, it's probably a connection, maybe.
He's lost his Wi-Fi late at night and close to London. We'll lose Luke too. They're in the same area.
You're my back.
Oh yeah.
Basildon.
We can hear you.
He was tricking us.
Come on, Basildon.
What was I saying, man? Was I saying the other signings, or was I saying someone quite
just Havertz was clutched off the bench too? Yeah.
You got to David Raya.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, David Raya.
Raya, obviously, yeah, I thought, Raya obviously came in. I thought had a shaky start. I remember against Luton and against Chelsea when we drew the game, but then he's really settled in. Obviously, kept the most clean sheets in the Prem. So I know the defense was superb, but also the way how he play out from the back as well, distribution wise, I'm been really impressed with him. And Timber, so unfortunate, man, that he got the ACL, but I think he'll definitely come good. So I think best signing for me has got to be Declan Rice.
Yeah. Go ahead, Dave.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with that. I think Declan Rice too.
It gives us so much stability. We have such a spine now. Hey, Dave.
It's a pity that we didn't see a season of Urian Timber though, because I think he is just he was electrifying that one game he played in the Community Shield against Man City. Yeah, he was absolutely just. He took my breath away. I'm not going to lie. The guy was.
Did you see the goal he scored for the under-21s, Dave? Too.
Yeah, I did. But the guy is so physically strong and fast. He just took my breath away. Like in the Community Shield game against a quality side. Yeah, it's a pity we didn't see a season of him. I'm looking forward to seeing him in the new season. But definitely Declan Rice for me. Pity you didn't play for Ireland, Declan. It's a real pity, bro. But look,
Luke says that too.
Luke turns the back on it, bro. It's fine. You know what I mean? But yeah, he's a fantastic player. He had a great season for Arsenal. He contributed a lot. Definitely, he was fantastic. Kai Havertz, gotta take my hat off to him, man. I was very critical of Kai. I'm not gonna lie. Chelsea reject. I thought he was crap, but he really made me eat my words. I really had to eat some humble pie. I'm not going to lie. And you know what? I haven't said a bad thing about him since, regardless if he scores or not.
That's a real gooner. He's on your team. He's giving
regardless if he scored or not for us. You know, when he started playing well, you know what? I'd eat some humble pie. And I said it. And to be honest, Havertz definitely has the best song of anyone. I mean, let's be honest. The song is just the best I've ever heard in my life. I mean, taking the piss out of the opposition fans, it's just so tongue-in-cheek. It's just unreal how good it is. Makes me smile every time I hear it. And when he hits the net, it's just like, oh, for fuck's sake, here we go. But it's just so tongue-in-cheek in the song. But look, Rice, man, I mean, what can I say about Rice? He has been absolutely fantastic. He has done a lot for us. Like, of course, this is the new signings we're talking about, but I think the only player that has been better than him, maybe two players in the season in the whole squad for me, are Odegaard and Saliba. He's been that good. Yeah, he's been that good. He's coming on in leaps and bounds. He covers a lot of ground. Jorginho, in fairness, as well, was decent enough. You know what I mean? I got to big up my man Jorginho, but I'm looking forward to the new season, and I can't wait to see what signings we get, how Declan Rice progresses. We get that striker that we so badly needed this season. But I'm looking forward, and I think Melina hit on a good point earlier. Trossard, he has been absolutely. I'm just going in general here, guys, with players that I think have been very good for us. Trossard, his technical ability on the ball. Different players, but I'm going to compare him a little bit with Thomas Rosicky back in the day. His technical ability, the touch on the ball. He takes it out from under his feet. He's calm. He hits it. He's got such good technical ability. He hits the ball so cleanly. It's unreal, actually. He's very, very good.
Yeah, I mean, he's almost last
the goal against United.
We got him in January. Hey, it was a great sign.
He just comes alive. You know what I mean?
If I was going to make a category award, I think he would get Mr. Clutch. He's been the most clutch for us.
He has been, and he's a brilliant finisher. I mean, he hits the ball so cleanly. He gives the keeper no chance. I mean, he's very, very, very comfortable, competent. Well impressed with him, and he's a very confident finisher. I mean, he doesn't mess around, and he's got very good technique. I've been well impressed with him. But yeah, of all David Raya, I mean, I gotta take my hat off to him, lads. I'm gonna do it. Fuck it. I need a haircut, but there you go. I gotta take my hat off to David Raya, lads. He has had a fantastic season, steady, solid. You remember the whole thing with Ramsdale, yeah? I remember when, I'm just going to compare it to Ramsdale. I remember when Ramsdale came along, it was like night and day between Ramsdale and Bernd Leno. Ramsdale was so much better than Leno.
Yeah, he seemed such a breath of fresh air.
Yeah, and he was cajoling the back four, talking to the back four, getting everybody involved, getting everybody up for it. You know what I mean? He was a real good character to have in the mix, but David Raya has completely eclipsed Ramsdale. I understood. I think it was a little bit from Arteta, the way he got rid of Ramsdale for Raya, I think was a little bit mean, in my opinion, because he just brought him straight in and that was it. There was going to be no competition for places. He was down in the pecking order. Raya was number one. But Raya has been fantastic. So controlled and comfortable under the high ball. A little couple of mistakes here and there, but his concentration levels, fantastic. I mean, Raya has been fantastic as well. Which I'd have to give the tip to Rice. It's just his drive in the middle of the park has won us so many games. I mean, and he loves playing for the club. When he said goodbye to West Ham, of course, we had to pay a lot of money for him, but he was their best player when we signed him. But when he said goodbye to West Ham, he loves the club, of course. But when he came to Arsenal, he came committed. And that's another thing you have to say about Rice. He wasn't thinking of West Ham, or he wasn't thinking, did I do the right thing or not? When he made the decision to come to Arsenal, he came committed. And that's another thing you have to commend him on. Yeah, he really went the extra mile for the club last season. I have to give him that. Big up to Declan Rice, man. And Declan, it's not too late to come back to the Irish team, man. We need you, bro. Come back.
Go
late,
ahead.
Declan, it's not too late.
Go ahead, Melina, on what you thought was best signing. Obviously, Declan, but yeah, what did you think about our signings?
A lot of people, I echo the same thing. Declan Rice. I mean, wow. I have a friend here in the chat, Christos, my good friend.
Christos.
He's a Liverpool fan, but he likes to watch the entire.
Nobody's perfect.
But he told me, you don't know what you're getting when you're getting Declan Rice. And I said, what do you mean? What are you talking about? And he said, no, he's going to be worth every penny. And I said, you're having a laugh. 105 million. And I said, he better be good. Because look, we saw Chelsea pay Enzo Fernandez big money. We saw Chelsea pay Casado big money. But to see Declan Rice fit like a glove into the midfield of this Arsenal team, as if Xhaka never left, which is big coming from me. I'm a big Xhaka fan, but that's a whole different conversation for another day. Declan Rice, the leadership that he brings into this team, you can see it from the England team he brings into this Arsenal team. And he's a captain without the armband. The way he gives so much security in the midfield, you feel so safe, and other teams are afraid to come up against him. He's been so consistent this season. I mean, some of the last-minute goals he scored had me and Moss up on our feet on these watch-alongs. And sometimes my mom telling me off for shouting at 7, 8 in the morning. But again, I mean, I think another signing I do want to give mention to, and I did mention that I owe him a big apology, is David Raya. When we first signed the guy, I was so confused. Why are we wasting the money on when we could be signing a right winger to cover Bukayo, as Reece Nelson hardly gets played? But to see Raya in some big games, especially that Porto game where we needed to go through and qualify, to take all the pressure on his shoulders and all the saves he made. Some games he's made double saves for us, and he's been a great player. I know sometimes he's made mistakes this season, but Ramsdale also, when he first signed for us, made some mistakes last season. And it's going to happen. Nobody's perfect. People do have mistakes in them, and it shows that they're human, unlike Erling Haaland, a fucking robot. With that being said, this season, I think signing of the season for me is Declan Rice. However, I there's a shout for Raya up there because of how good he's been.
I think Melina fancies Haaland. I think you can. I think it's like a love-hate thing.
Walk right under his legs. She can walk right through his legs.
Interesting couple, huh? Melina and Haaland.
No way.
She just walked right underneath him.
The other thing I want to say, the last thing I want to say about Raya is some of the games he's been man of the match, and he's kept us in the game. If it wasn't for Raya, I think some of these games we would have conceded a lot of goals. We've kept the most clean sheets in the league, and that's credit to David Raya, who won Golden Glove with Arsenal. So massive respect goes to him.
Man, I'm way behind on comments. Sorry. But yeah, everyone said it very well. We can move on to young player. I mean, obviously it's Declan Rice, but yeah, Kai Havertz proved a lot of people wrong. 100%.
Including me.
And Raya, in a normal season, that many clean sheets and winning it, you'd be like almost giving it to your keeper. But man, it just shows our defense, and getting Rice too for our defense. It's made us such a hard spine, and we're just solid, man. Like. So yeah, best young player. Go with it. I had it up there, and I was missing the comments here, but I'll just get through them. People's giving the what ups for Miss Melina, the superstar, Arsenal season ticket holder, maybe here soon. Oh my god.
Must be
Yes,
great to be
next
rich.
season. Next season. I can't wait till that August hits. I'll get the season ticket and none of this ballot crap anymore, Luke. I've had enough. I've had
Must be
enough.
great to have money.
I've had more rejections from the ballot than I've had in job interviews, than I've had with partners, than I've had with fucking
Season ticket holder.
I can't wait.
There's a thing of best youth player, but we're gonna do a award best young player, but obviously
So can
if
this
those
be academy
voices,
kids?
'cause
Because
I was doing 22 and under. Obviously it's Saka.
Yeah.
He got like in all comps 20 goals. But if you want to talk about one of the other guys on the list about our young players and they're up and coming, go right ahead. Go ahead, Luke.
Well, Walters will be leaving us, so it'll be interesting to see where he goes and what he does.
Did really good when I saw him.
He didn't play a single minute for the first team though. So
under 21s, yeah.
And Wannery, yeah, we know, we've seen his quality. People, Arsenal fans might have watched him for England, various age groups he's played for already.
Dominating.
He's made 2 substitute appearances for us. I'd like to see more of him. I think Arteta could have given these younger players more minutes. We had a dead rubber against PSV where he picked, I think he even started like Ben White. He started most of the first team. I think I would have loved to have seen.
That was the game to get a couple in there for sure. It was.
Yeah, it would have been nice to have seen some of these players start that game. I know that they would have been in Warnery and MLS would have been up against men, and that I can understand why Arteta didn't maybe want to do that too much, but they could have come on.
And one of them, especially
yeah,
one of them.
And there was other opportunities throughout the season.
Walters never really got a shot. You called for Walters a bunch of times.
Yeah, I think, but that's he's going now. So yeah, and Wannery is the one that sticks out for me in terms of talent. Saka, he's been in the team so long. It seems mad that he's still up for these sort of awards. I think did he even?
No, this is 22 and under. I picked the best 22 and under.
Nice.
So, I mean, I'd give it to Nwaneri just because Saka's won all these sort of things loads of times before. So FN would get my vote.
Well, he's also in this best youth player. I got it. Kind of thing, yeah. But yeah, go ahead, Josh. I mean, obviously, Saka's contributed the most. Maybe Martinelli, down a little bit, but he's still 22 as well. And MLS is obviously Miles Lewis-Skelly, ACD, Kozier Dewberry. We saw him under 21. Pretty big numbers, like goals and assists as well.
Yeah.
If you want to mention someone, go for it.
I feel like for me, the one when I've been watching the youth a few times is Kozier Dewberry, man. He reminds me so much of Saka. He's literally like a Saka.
He is. I saw him right in person, Josh. I mean, Mel, he looked and he plays like Saka so much.
Yeah.
So little, too.
He's really impressed me, man. Yeah, he's really impressed me. And I feel like I would love to see him get a chance maybe early rounds of a League Cup, because I remember when we played Brentford start of the season in the League Cup, and I think Arteta played, is it Sago Jr. for a game? So I like to see him do the same with someone like Kozier Dewberry. Obviously, we all know about Nwaneri is a name that's been hyped around, and obviously because of his age as well. We saw him against Brentford when he first made his debut, but then against West Ham when we beat them 6-0, and he came on and he was getting more of the ball, and it seems like Odegaard was really like helping him get into the game as well, and just sort of because when he played against Brentford, I don't think he touched a ball when he made his debut, but then obviously against West Ham we saw him have a lot more of the ball, and over time I think that this guy, as long as we keep holding this guy, I think this guy will come good. Obviously Martinelli for me, I think he's real talk. I think he's been disappointing, especially towards the end of the season. I just feel like the guy looks like he doesn't have the confidence left anymore, man. I remember Martinelli taking on players like when we first, even last season, when we was in the title race. I was like, Martinelli taking on players. I remember him against Cancelo against Man City when we lost the game 2-1 a few years ago. He ripped apart Cancelo, ripped apart Trent. And towards the end of the season, I'm not seeing that same thing with Martinelli anymore. He sort of just hesitates to really show.
Balogun. There's two Balagans. I know. Sorry.
Yeah, no, I just feel with
Rangers and Monaco.
I just feel with Martinelli, man. He's just I think he's lacking a bit of confidence. Hopefully next season he can come alive because
I think he really got hurt bad that one time too. I think weren't we there, Molina, or something? His ankle got whacked really bad towards the end of the game. And I think he just kept playing through it, but you could see his confidence went down.
Remember one of the, I think it was Munich, he
got hit really hard towards the end of the year.
They had to carry him down the stairs because he couldn't do it.
It was ugly on the replay.
I think it was Munich. But he's been injured. I don't know if he's been playing with an injury, but Josh, you're right. I mean, it seems like a lack of confidence or something just happened to him where he's felt discouraged. We know how explosive Martinelli can be down the wings, and to see him be a shadow of himself this season, it was upsetting. And maybe people can argue it's been one of the disappointments this season. I would say Nketiah has been extremely disappointing this season. I mean, we gave you so much money in wages. You're wearing the freaking number 14 shirt.
Yeah.
I don't want to sound like those people on other platforms who I shall not name, but Eddie he's not been as clutch as we want him to be. And okay, you're getting the game time sometimes. At least prove that you're worth wearing the shirt. Do something. When you're in front of goal, you're fluffing your lines. You don't know whether to shoot or whether to pass. This is a problem, and it's not just a one-time problem. It's more and more.
Terrible game.
Look, even Mario agrees. He's pissed off now.
Was that Jordan?
Did we lose Dave?
It's Jordan, isn't it? Jordan, be quiet. Can't hear what they think, Jordan, bro. Jordan, I can't hear myself think. Okay, so me. I mean, I'm just gonna start off on the point Melina had about my man Martinelli. I mean, I'm a big fan of Gabriel Martinelli. I love watching him play. I have a lot of time for the guy, actually. I think a lot of him. I hold him in high esteem. I hope he can come back in the new season. He gets back to his best. Like I said, I have a lot of time for Martinelli. If one thing would hurt me, guys, is if we sold Martinelli. That would be a real disappointment. He is a wonderful, wonderful talent. He didn't have the best season, but like I said, he's Arsenal true and true. He's a team player. He puts it all out there for the team, and I really like the guy. I like the way he plays for us when he's on it. You know what I mean? And he has a lot of potential. I mean, whatever went on this season, I'm not quite sure. I think Kai Havertz put some kind of curse on him or something. I don't know what was going on there. I think he tried to just unsettle him. He had like a voodoo doll and he was sticking pins in it when he was at home. I don't know what he was doing with it. Or maybe he was doing other things with the voodoo doll, but I'm not going to get into that on this. It's not late enough for that kind of talk. But yeah, you know what? I like Martinelli. I think he's a fantastic player. He's Arsenal true and true, like I said. He's one of our own, in my opinion. You know what I mean? He didn't come through the youth setup, but he's a real. I like Martinelli. Saka, best player. But the thing is with Saka, we do need another option, and I know everybody knows this. Yeah. I know I'm not saying anything new, but we do need maybe another option of Saka because, like against Bayern, for example, when they had this really fast Canadian player, Davies, I think his name is. And they were double teaming Saka whenever he got the ball out wide. I mean, that was like our weapon. That's what we were using. I remember when Martinelli used to team up with Tierney before Tierney got moved on. Yeah, I mean that was a good partnership on that side of the field. We had Tierney and Martinelli, good partnership. I don't like Alexander Zinchenko. I'm just going off on a pointer. Guy's going to speak as I see it. Zinchenko, I don't know. He can't defend really well. Tomiyasu, for me, I like Tomiyasu, yeah. And I also think the Polish player Kiwior, okay, he got exposed in Munich, but he was very, very good at times, Kiwior. And himself and Tomiyasu have more physicality to their game than little Zinchenko. You know what I mean? He just gets blown off the ball like a fairy. Tomiyasu has a bit of muscle. Kiwior has a bit of muscle. You want me to start talking about the best defender? Because that's juicy, yeah?
Yeah, no, that's what.
Saliba. Without a shadow of a doubt. He's just different level. But all the players on here, like I mentioned, Tomiyasu, all the players on here, they had a great season. They were fantastic for us all season long, in my opinion. But
1-1.
Saliba, for me, is just an incredible player, an incredible talent. So calm and composed. Raya came in and did a good job, but of course the back four, the defensive front of him is very important. And Saliba was fantastic in that. Tomiyasu, big fan. White. You know what I like about Ben White, and I'm just going to get into it. Shithousery. Big up to him, man. We needed a scumbag in the team, and he was the one that stepped up to the plate. Got a bit nasty when necessary, annoyed a few people, got under their skin. And that's the kind of thing that we needed in the team because we were a little bit too nice sometimes. So big up to Ben White for that, man. That's one thing I'll say about Ben White. He got in there and he mixed it up. You know what I mean? He's unsettled people. You know what I mean? I like that. I like that because you know what? We saw in the Porto game what they did to us over in Porto. The way they behaved in that game, absolutely disgraceful. Absolutely disgraceful behaviour over in Porto. I'm glad that we turned the table on the back at the Emirates. Like I said, that was the highlight of the season for me. But we got to Ben White in a couple of games that he played. He really kind of some of those games he played, he really upset people. And you know what? I liked it because you need that. You need that in your team. You need that edge. You need that fight. And he was getting in people's faces, and he wasn't worried about it. Big up to Ben White, man. And you know what? He's not a bad player. I have to say he's a good player, man. He came on in leaps and bounds. Big up to Ben White, man. There's a lot of things said about him, you know what I mean? But he played very well for us in the season. You got to give him more respect.
Go ahead, Josh. But yeah, other awards I would consider Ben White for. Like, there's ones Melina had, like, you know, most unsung. If you had a most consistent award, Ben White, man, he was consistent to this year, like big time at gaming. But go ahead, Josh. Who you thought best defender was?
Yeah, for me, I have to agree with my guy Dave. It's got to be Saliba. I feel like, but honestly, shout out to the whole defense, really. You know, even Gabriel. I think Gabriel.
Everyone.
Yeah, exactly, Moss. Exactly, the whole defense I think was really superb this season. You know, Gabriel I think is so underrated as well, and I think the partnership they had with Saliba absolutely immense. But Saliba's just different, man. Absolutely, you know, we call him the Rolls Royce for a reason. I mean, that guy. Just so consistent, week in, week out. I've never seen a guy dribble past Saliba. I can't think on the top of my head if he's ever been actual like proper dribble past. Like the guy, every time he gets the ball as well.
Ivan Toney.
So,
There was once.
Ivan Toney did it a couple of times.
Once.
Okay, yeah, but you know, okay.
I'm only joking, Jack. I'm only winding him.
All right, fair enough. All right. But yeah, no. Saliba, yeah. Even when he is on the ball as well, like the guy just looks so comfortable, man. Yeah, it's like, you know, doesn't has any hesitation. Doesn't ever every time we see Saliba get the ball, it's not like we panic or we stress. We're like, it's just Saliba. He does exactly what he does. So he's one of our most consistent players as well. He's got to be definitely our best for me. As I said, shout out to Gabriel. You know, Gabriel
consistent as well. Oh, did we lose Josh?
I think we did.
You know,
Go ahead, yeah, Melina.
sorry, you know, or maybe I'll wait for Josh to continue. But you know, Saliba.
Man, you're McDonald's wife. Wow, man.
Back.
I swear.
Rolls Royce.
Josh, turn off Pornhub. Pornhub is taking a lot of the. Josh, turn off that Pornhub. That dinosaur porn on Pornhub is the weirdest thing I've ever seen. Anyway.
Man, Dave, you're such a joker, bro. Seriously,
Turn
bro.
off that Pornhub, man.
Who was I saying? Gabriel, I said he's underrated.
Gabriel, he's Mr. Consistent too, man.
Yeah, he's had a great partnership with Saliba. Tomiyasu, obviously, I think the thing that lets him down is injuries, but when he's fully fit, he can play multiple positions. He can play centre back, right back, left back, and
he's so good one-on-one.
Yeah, exactly. That's the main thing, and I think obviously Ben White, as Dave mentioned, superb, man, absolutely superb. He can overlap, cross a ball as well, and even defensively, he's reasonably solid. So I think overall, I agree what Dave said. Zinchenko for me, Yeah, the guy should be a midfielder. There's a reason why he plays there for Ukraine. He's a midfielder for Ukraine. We need to convert him to the midfield.
Midfielder. He does.
Yeah, left back for me. We need someone there who's can actually defend. With all due respect, Zinchenko. He's been countless times. He's either out of position or he just can't defend. So I'm fine with him if he's in the midfield because I feel like he's good with his feet. I feel like he's good technically going forward as well. I think he's good. So if playing in the midfield, that's completely fine. But left back, I don't think he's suited there. But other than that, as I said, I think the defense was superb this season, man.
Yeah, go ahead, Luke. Did you do best defender?
Yeah, my pick is Gabriel. I just think he's
Gabriel.
I actually think he's been consistently. I think he's been excellent ever since. Really, remember when he was called like the bozo or something early lot in the previous season, and he made a couple of mistakes. But I think ever since he's really basically had 2 years of brilliant performances. He's very consistent. I like I had to play centre back a few times, and I was very much his type. The kind of the aggressor. I wasn't good enough footballer to do what Saliba does, so I just used to knock people about. There's no VAR on the Sunday leagues pitches. You can do what you want pretty much, as Moss knows. Yeah, especially if you're the centre back. They can't see you when you kick the forward.
I was Tony Adams. I did it all. I did it all like Saliba and Gabriel.
just like a little knee into the back when you're jumping up to clear a header. The refs can't see it. It's Gabriel's that type of defender. So I think
he's center back. It makes you a good striker because then you know what to do.
Plus, he's such a good option from corners and free kicks. Gabriel is, he scored 4 or 5 goals each season. He's been
and always a danger on set pieces, making himself a nuisance and hard to mark.
So if you can get one of your centre backs scoring 5 goals a season every season, that is dynamite. That is.
Would that be Molina? Would that be your row? Saliba, Gabriel, Ben White. It seems to be consensus. Like it's close.
Definitely, I think.
I
think the only issue with, Fabrizio just tweeted that it was Tierney's last game at Sociedad, so he's coming back to Arsenal, and they'll decide his future afterwards. But going back to this,
we'll get some money for him.
Going back to this, I think this is a fair game. With Tomiyasu, the problem is, although he's very good aerial ability-wise, if you are made out of glass, it's hard for us to assess you. You're always injured. It's difficult for us when you're hardly available. But when you're available, we see how good you are aerial ability-wise. You offer so much for us. I think Ben White is a great shout. He's been really consistent.
There's a left back at Hallbridge. Sorry, Melina. There's a left back at Hallbridge that could replace Tierney. Hey, dude. at least Southend. Look at this guy. Come on.
Sorry. The other thing I want to mention for Saliba, no one really mentioned this, is it's crazy and so ludicrous that Saliba has played every single minute of the Premier League without being injured by the grace of God. I mean, this guy, he's only going to go improve and continue to rise and raise expectations from everyone.
If Deschamps doesn't play him out, Deschamps, he's an idiot if he doesn't play this. So.
I hope Deschamps doesn't. I don't care about internationals. I just want him to do well for Arsenal. But Deschamps, he's a moron if he doesn't play him. I mean, the quality that he offers into this team.
Rangers.
He's such a phenomenal player. I mean, I think he's won 49 games in Arsenal in his first 65 games. He's broken all the right stats for us. I think his win percentage this season was 75%.
50 starts, all comps, 2 goals, 1 assist, 6 yellows.
But he's made opposition afraid to play up against him. He had the likes of Man United players in his back pocket. He had Erling Haaland in his back pocket. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. They're talking Reece James, they're talking Trent Alexander-Arnold, but we're talking William Saliba. Yeah,
yeah.
and he should have won Young Player of the Season, but stupid Cole Palmer. I mean, he's a great player, but still.
Oh, did they decide that or what?
Yeah, Cole Palmer won it.
Cole Palmer won. I can't believe Sleep is up for the award. I
Great
was
player.
like, give it to him.
Yeah.
He's fucking up for this award.
Palmer's a good
Yeah.
player.
Big up 305.
Everyone's done defender, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, I agreed, Saliba. Yeah, Gabriel was Mr. Consistent too. Ben White. Best attacker. I put a few suggestions out there. But yeah, Melina, you've been going last a bunch. You go ahead again.
Oh, this one's hard.
Wilson Ketia.
Best consider all these guys attackers.
Ketia.
This
Wilson
is gonna
Ketia's
be,
name.
There's,
this
you
is
know,
gonna
Melina,
be-
there's overall production. Saka kind of wins that. You know,
Mhm.
Odegaard's our best press attacker, and he's learned how to do it good with
Odegaard's the
Jesus.
glue in the
Havertz.
midfield. And
Trossard's been
Trossard's
super
been so
clutch.
clutch.
Havertz made our, offense finally really tick, and cause trouble. It is a hard decision than people think.
This is a lot of good names up here. I know right away I'm not gonna say Jesus. No disrespect to him,
Yeah,
but I think
that's-
some of the games where we needed him, he's been a shadow of himself and a shadow on the pitch. Odegaard, one of the best ACMs in the Premier League entirely, I feel. And that's not just an Arsenal bias. If you see the guy, he covers everywhere on the midfield, sometimes even moving more up front in the midfield. When Partey and Rice and Odegaard, when we saw that midfield, you saw how systematic it was and how solid it was. If only we could have had the three of them fit for the majority of the season, it would have been great. I'm gonna go Kai Havertz in this one. I think Havertz, like Luke, I know Luke got the Havertz
What
kit.
would his
A
numbers
lot of
be?
people had owed apologies to Kai Havertz, but I know there's bar
What
gap
would
in the
his
chat.
numbers been if he was striker the whole time, like Josh
That's
kind of was
what we
saying?
were saying. Like, if we had found out that his best position is center forward, look at what his numbers could have been. Much better than what he offered now. But for him to come from that Chelsea toxic team into Arsenal,
He said 180 million, Luke. It's
wrote
crazy.
him off over a skills challenge in a fucking friendly. People wrote him off because he missed the penalty there. For him to get more GA than Nicholas Jackson, more GA than Richarlison will ever have for Tottenham, and he's been such a clutch player.
Dutch crunch clutch. Tross was very clutch this year. But yeah, I think she's finalizing with Havertz. Go ahead, Luke.
This is a hard one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because you could make arguments.
Spread it about, like they say.
I mean, obviously, you can't make an argument for Jesus, but you can make an argument for the rest of Havertz, Saka, Odegaard, and Trossard. And I think Havertz, I watched him at Chelsea. I didn't watch him at Bayer Leverkusen. I wasn't happy when we signed him. I thought it was, as Josh was saying, I thought those funds could have been used. They would have been better used on Maddison and Kudus. That's what I was advocating for. Havertz, well, you could always see he was a good player at Chelsea. I don't think anyone was arguing that he was rubbish, but it was just his end product for me that I looked at him at Chelsea and when we signed him, I thought we're going to have the same issue. We're going to where is he going to play? He's going to miss chances, and he does miss chances. What is he going to bring? And I remember I went to the first game of the season against Nottingham Forest, and I thought I was going to have a real good look at him in terms of what he does, because when you're at the stadium, you can see the whole pitch, and it's different to when you're watching on TV. And the first thing I noticed about him was I thought he's got elite movement. And my
than people think.
My doubts about him were, could he actually finish the chance? Because he's going to get chances with us. Could he finish enough of those chances to warrant being in the team? And he's never going to be clinical like a Haaland or any of the great sort of strikers in the past, but his all-round game, he's an all-round much better player than Haaland. And I think he's been an absolute revelation. I think he's been brilliant for us. But the other players, I mean, Saka's got as Moss said, the goal contributions.
The most, yeah.
And I do think I'm going to sort of count Odegaard out of this one. I'm just going to do it as like the forwards, like the front three.
That's fair enough.
And I do think that if we were to miss Saka for a prolonged period of time, you'd really notice it.
Saka, all comps, Luke, 47 starts, 20 goals, 14 assists, 4 yellows.
If you looked at that game, the game that we had, our last game against Everton, I think Martinelli had some good moments, but I think you really missed Saka on that right-hand side. I think we could get by having someone else playing up front. So I think Mel's choice is a very credible one, but I'm going to go with Saka because I just think that if his overall, he does have bad games and stuff, but his corner take, he's a brilliant set piece taker from those corners. He puts in brilliant crosses. He really kind of helps our tempo on that right-hand side. Doesn't really lose the ball often. If he can't beat his man, he'll pass it back.
And his finishing has improved. His finishing has improved.
His finishing is good. Yeah, it's getting better.
His penalties, he's really good.
If you notice with Martinelli, when he played there, and okay, it was only one game, Martinelli's, he's like a road runner. He's rushing everywhere, isn't he? He's like, right, the ball, run as fast as I can. Or, just calm down a minute, mate. And that's what Saka does so well. So my vote goes to Saka.
Go ahead, Mel. Well, you went Havertz.
I went Havertz,
Luke
yeah.
went Saka. What are you saying, Josh? Take everything into consideration. Just who is our best, offensive player, made things happen, attack, most goal contributions. Clutch was Trossard, I keep saying. But, yeah, who do you think?
I'm going to go Trossard, man. Just my personal opinion. I think, look, all these the attackers that you put up there, obviously, dismissing Jesus a bit, but all the rest. I mean, Odegaard's sensational. I know that's your boy Moss, but yeah, it's a sensational season from him. Saka, as you mentioned there, numbers don't lie. Obviously, I spoke about Havertz already, but for me, Trossardinho, man. I feel like this guy, big game player, turns up in the bit, as you said, clutch, turns up in the big moments. And I've been saying this ever since, we signed him from Brighton. Like, even at Brighton, the guy was doing. I remember when he went at Anfield, he scored a hat trick for Brighton. He went Etihad, scored for Brighton. He went he came to Emirates and scored against us, and he's also done it for Arsenal as well. In the big games. I mean, he killed off the game against Liverpool at the Emirates when we beat them, obviously 3-1. Just had a great season in general. Technically, he's absolutely superb. He can, drift off to the wing. He can play false nine if he wanted to as well. For me, he's been keeping Martinelli out of the left-hand side, man. And, he's been scoring goals for fun. And, that's where the chance came from. Trossard again chant, because the guy just don't stop scoring goals this season and assisting as well. As I said, very technically gifted. I'm so happy that we signed this guy, man. And I know he's getting a bit older now, but he's been absolutely fantastic for me. And I think one of the big reasons is because he's a clutch player. Like even Chelsea, Stamford Bridge, we needed a goal. He came off the bench, got us the equaliser. And this is what he does, man. So I think Trossard, for me, Trossardinho for me.
And that goes in hockey. We say that too. Like there's some guys that they show up in the playoffs. Like me and Luke know that, Mel. Like maybe Leafs fans don't know that so much about. But yeah, there's clutch performers, and fair enough. Trossard deserves. Man, this is tight though. Everyone's kind of got a vote. I'm kind of.
Moss, hold on, because you took a jab at the Leafs. What happened to the clutch performance against Florida? They did the double over you. Go back on you, Moss.
Zach and Pasternak, you're saving it for the Swiss tomorrow. The Swiss cheese tomorrow.
Go on, Switzerland.
But yeah, Melina said Havertz. I'm kind of with Luke on Saka, but I could go Odegaard, but I'm saving him. He's my MVP. I'll give that up already. But Saka, I kind of leaning towards Luke, so it's really close. Like you're kind of deciding at Irish Swiss, Dave. And Trossard's got a vote from Josh here.
I think Martin Odegaard.
See, it's like even this one.
He has been absolutely.
Chat, help us out. Who is the best offensive player? Our attacker?
I think Martin Odegaard. Time and time again, he's stood head and shoulders above many players on the field.
Saka for Barca.
And I'm actually, and
Luka,
I tell you now, it's high praise because I actually wasn't a fan of Odegaard. I'll be honest.
I know lots of people weren't.
You just can't ignore the man's potential, his ability, in tight areas of the pitch, just to eke out that little chance, a little sideways pass. He spots things early. He runs into the space. He makes a burst. He plays off a lovely weighted pass.
Yeah.
I mean, he is absolutely just everywhere at times. Everything runs through him. He can finish as well. Brilliant passer, brilliant reader of the game. And like I said, it wasn't actually, he wouldn't be the player that would kind of catch my eye, to be honest, but you just can't deny it. Like any game, anyone that's seen him live, anyone that's seen it on TV, he's just always buzzing. And in the tightest games, I mean, really difficult games, he's just had that little bit of class, that little bit of ingenuity, and he's just worked an opportunity and got us back into the game or got us ahead of many games. I mean, I have to say he has been incredible. A fantastic attacking player. I mean, he's very hard to hold up. He's very hard to handle. And like I said, when the chips were down, when the shit was hitting the fan, pardon my language, he was there to be counted upon. And when they got physical with him and they got rough, you know what? He toughed it out and he got stuck in and he kept playing his game. Because sometimes they just try to kick him off the field. You know what I mean? That's one way to kind of stop him. But he's come on in leaps and bounds. So for me, Martin Odegaard. Of course, Saka is Saka. Havertz made me eat my words. Like I said, I had to eat a bit of humble pie many times. I like Havertz. Big shout out to my man Eddie Nketiah. Brilliant player.
Well, I didn't want to stop you because you were giving so many Odegaard.
Nketiah is the new Thierry Henry, you know what I mean? He's
my
Thierry
son
Henry,
Odegaard, I could have gave it, but the chat gave Saka a few, so we're going to give it to Saka, Irish Dave.
Boo.
Our next one, most improved. You can start it out, Dave, since I cut you off.
Most improved.
It can be someone else. I put out suggestions there. Go ahead, Dave.
Jacob Kiwior is most improved, in my opinion. Because he was crap. And he's playing pretty well now. You know what I mean? He's playing pretty well now. I don't know what he's like for the Polish team. I don't know what he's like with the national side. Is he like Havertz? Because I saw when Havertz started to play better for us, it also coincided with he started to play better for the German national side. I don't know, is Kiwior actually playing for the Polish national team? I think he is, but I don't know what his form is like. But for me, Kiwior definitely, apart from in Munich when he got exposed by a fantastic attacking player. He got cooked by Leroy Sané, but that's what I'm touching on. But who wouldn't get cooked by Leroy Sané?
It is normal. So it does happen.
Sané is an animal. Sané is an animal. Who wouldn't get cooked by him? He's an animal. But he's one of the best players on the planet in that position. So, and Bayern play away where they got the ball to Sané and they let him get to work. You know what I mean? He's a real difficult player to stop. But Kiwior, for me, most improved. Big up to him, man.
That's a good shout. I like what you backed it up with.
Yeah. He's got physicality.
Go ahead, Josh. Who do you think's most improved player this year for Arsenal in this last season? It could be someone else. I just threw some out there.
I think, you know what? I'm going to go with, I think Dave makes a good point of Kiwior. I was going to go with him, but I'm going to go Jorginho, you know. I'm going to back Jorginho.
Someone off there, I'll add him.
I want to most improve because I feel like the way
it makes a big difference for us.
Yeah, I feel like the way he's came in. If you obviously remember when we had Partey, he picked up the injury. Obviously, Hanset was experimenting playing Havertz there, and when he came in, Jorginho, I feel like he had a great partnership with Declan Rice. And I remember the games. In fact, I think Liverpool at Emirates this season. He was absolutely superb in that midfield. Man City as well. When he was with Declan Rice, I thought was absolutely superb there as well. Newcastle this season, we beat them 4-0. Absolutely amazing. And that guy just offers more that bit of stability. He has that experience. He's not like spectacular player, but he does the job for you. And I'm not saying it because obviously the Italian bias, Moss, but I generally think he's our most improved because when we brought in him, it was so much about Caicedo in that.
And it's like Arteta plans out his starts too. I think Luke mentioned that during the season.
Exactly.
He plans it out, and then he plays. He does very well.
Exactly. It's like you can have him for the selective games, like even Champions League. He can be useful because he has that experience of winning the competition. And the Euros as well. He's won trophies. He has a experience of being a winner at the end of the day. I think that's really good to have in the squad. So I think Jorginho for me most improved because when he first came in, it was a bit. Everyone was talking about Caicedo in that January window. Oh, we're going to get Caicedo, and then obviously we got Jorginho as a bit. Jorginho, yeah, another Chelsea player, but he's came in. I think he's done a great job. I know he made that little mistake against Tottenham, start of the season, but other than that, he's been. I think the partnership he had with Declan Rice. Was brilliant, and I think some of the games he really proved that this season. So I'm gonna have to go Jorginho.
Okay, Mel, go ahead. Most improved.
I'm also going Jorginho. I think his technical quality and his long-range passes has been instrumental for Arsenal this season. He's also a leader. I could see him becoming a future coach for the young ones in our team. Jorginho has been a leader on and off the pitch for them.
Great.
I think he's been really influential in the dressing room and also bringing that Champions League experience. I think that's really helped us in this Champions League run. And next season, I'm happy we gave him a 1-year extension. I know he's had a bit of a bozo moment or carelessness at times, like against Tottenham, but this season I felt he's really improved, and it was outstanding to see the improvements in him.
I went flat beat. So yeah, Jorginho 2 votes. Dave went Kivior. I like that. I was definitely for this when I thought about this award ahead of time. I was definitely going Ben White because he just keeps going like this for me. But go ahead, Luke.
Yeah, I think I probably lean towards Kivior as well because I think when he first came to us,
much of him, yeah.
When he first came to us, and I remember he
barely
played a game. I think it might have been against Brighton
when we were playing holding instead of him for a while,
and he came in after Holding. Yeah, he came in after Holding after we'd pretty much lost the league anyway. But he came in and a cross came in and he ducked. He dove. He dived on the floor.
Shoe came off or something too. What time?
He was talking about his shoe, yeah, or something. And I've never seen this before in my life. What the hell is he doing? But yeah, he's not ever be our starting left. He's not a left back. He's a centre back, and we've not really seen him in his actual position, have we? Really? Yeah. So when he has played, I think, given where he was to how he kind of ended the season, when he was last playing, I think he was our most improved player. And as Dave was saying, Sane. It's normal in football for a player that's playing at fullback to get roasted by the winger occasionally. It happens. Our wingers do it to fullbacks as well. So I've never been someone that says, "Oh, he got roasted by Sane. He's absolute rubbish," because it's just not true. He just got beat that day. He was having most fullbacks would struggle against someone like Leroy Sane. He's a brilliant footballer. So I think, my vote would definitely go for Jakub Kivior.
Sorry, shout out to ABT. Thanks for tuning in, fellow Raptors.
Raptors fan, nice. So yeah, in the chat, let us know. Like it's down to Jorginho. He definitely both of these guys because they barely contributed when they came in January the year before. Didn't get to show too much, and they both, I agree, should be up for this award, most improved. I didn't have Jorginho in there, much respect, and the what he's helped with our whole squad, Jorginho, just sounds really good and positive all the time. But yeah, most improved. I don't know. Do I got to break it? Because I kind of had Ben White in my mind for that one.
Yeah, you're gonna have to
break it.
Yeah, you're the casting vote.
Yeah, I really like Dave and Luke the way they said about Kivior. I'll give them the, and Poland and confidence. I really like the idea. Come on, Serie A, spend some bucks. You guys all have a craving for Kivior to come back and play center back. If we were talking last night, me and Aussie Steve, and it's like, yeah, come double our money. Serie A, buy the center back then, and then we'll buy good.
Well, sorry, Moss. If Ace apparently one of the Saudi league clubs won Liao, and apparently they're willing to pay the 175 million.
Wow.
Release clause. So AC Milan will have money. So you know how Italian clubs like to say they haven't got any money. Well, we know that they definitely will if that happens. And apparently AC Milan are one of the teams that like him. So that could happen this summer.
Wow. That was best. We've gone through a bunch of them. Best young, best. Best. Which one did I want to go to? Yeah, okay. Let's go to the negative side. We don't have much negative out there. Who had the most disappointing season? I know a few have mentioned Martinelli already. I think Zinni's come up. Eddie's come up in chat. But yeah, you guys discuss. Go ahead, Melina. Most disappointing player for you this season? What did you call it? You had a different award name for it.
Flop of the season.
Flop of the
season. Out of all of this, it's kind of like bad apples in the bunch.
It could be anyone.
That Smith Rowe one is really hurtful because 2 seasons ago, him and Saka were our top goal scorers, and now he's being linked to a potential move away from Arsenal. But at the end of the day, no one's bigger than the club, and we have to do what's best for both of us. And I wish him best wherever he goes, if that's the decision the club makes behind the doors. Out of all of this, I'm going Thomas Partey because the biggest games this season, he's not been available. And availability is your biggest ability. If you're not available, what are you doing for us? Then when he's come back from injury, we didn't play him for some games. The Tottenham game, he was really good. And then the Everton game, I was there live. I didn't feel he was that good. And I think this season he could have offered us more. I know injuries are unavoidable or inexcusable. But again, if you're looking at the all-round picture, I do think he's been disappointing when he's not been able to play. When he's been available, he's been on his day. He's a really good player. And Eddie Nketiah, this is something we've already mentioned. Again, for me, he's on the top of that list.
Eddie for that list. But yeah, Zinni in the chat, Bargav went. What do you think, old school Dave?
I think Eddie Nketiah, without a doubt. People can say Zinchenko, fair enough. I respect that, but
he got enough chances. You guys are right. You got enough chances that he could have, won some extra starts out of himself.
Yeah, and you know what? The worst thing about him as well was when he scored that hat trick against Sheffield United. He thought he was the man. The way he was walking around, like I don't want to be slating the guy, but the way he was behaving after he scored against Sheffield United, man. My father was playing for Sheffield United, for fuck's sake. There was guys at the back line, man, they couldn't even move. I mean, come on, seriously. I mean, I saw him once, I don't know who we were playing against, but he had a chance of a curler, yeah? Curl it into the corner, you know what I mean? So all you had to do was put a bit of bend on it, Saka style. He hits an angled drive across the box and it goes wide out of play. Then when he got a chance to do the angled drive, he tried to curl it. The fuck? And this was in the space for 3 minutes. I was like, what's he doing? I mean, honest to God, that
he doesn't know how to press right. You can see it's so much better with Jesus and Havertz. The press is so much better when it's with Eddie. It's like he's all over the map.
He's had every possible opportunity. He hits over them to Brooklyn and he gets a couple of photos around Brooklyn acting the boy. Man, you need to be on the training ground, son. Jesus almighty, heaven above. Terrible player.
Oh.
Awful. Eddie.
Ipswich coming by Eddie, please come on.
Shocking, man.
Go ahead, Josh. Who is most? It doesn't have to be someone from this list. You know, Zinni's gotten shout outs. I was kind of thinking Martinelli, but when I think about it, come on, he's not that bad to be that disappointed.
But I wish Eddie all the best too, guys. I wish
and now just you guys talking. I'm leading Eddie, but I don't know where I would go. Josh, you go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're right about Martinelli. Like, I know I said that, you know, he's dropped off. I think he has towards the end of the season.
Like,
but
in the name of the award, disappointing. It was.
Yeah, but the first half of the season, I remember Martinelli had a decent start. I remember he scored against City. You know, which one is the game? I remember, but he scored against Fulham as well. When we lost that game, I think he scored our goal. So he had a decent first half of the season. Just second half is where I got a bit right with him, and the drop off was crazy, really, and not in a good way. So disappointing is probably have to go with Martinelli just because of the drop off, and disappointing. I'm disappointed because I didn't expect it. Whereas I expect Eddie Nketiah. I've seen Eddie with all due respect, and I've seen Eddie Nketiah many years to suggest this guy. It's not good enough for Arsenal Football Club. We need to move on from him. And it's why I was shocked when clubs like Palace wanted him for 35 million and we rejected it. And instead we gave him 100 grand a week and the number 14 shirt.
He should be worth 40, but come on. It's gonna be
I just don't see it with Nketiah at all.
Oh, no, that's going to be tough to get rid of.
Ipswich,
yes.
Come on, step
Inter
up.
Miami. You could sell him to Inter Miami.
New money, Ipswich. New money.
Inter Miami. Go play with Messi.
Go play a Messi, Eddie Nketiah.
I like Ipswich. I would love Eddie up there, I think.
Detractors, man. We got the detractors.
Toronto.
Who are you going with, Josh? Martinelli? That's what I was kind of thinking. But
yeah,
I'm
Martinelli
another way. Because... But go ahead, Luke. Change my mind.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I approached this kind of... subject with similar to what Josh was saying in terms of what are your expectations of these players going into the season, and did they exceed or essentially match them? And I would say with Eddie Nketiah, he basically matched my expectations of him because I didn't expect anything of him because I just don't rate him. So I won't vote for him. ESR just doesn't get the opportunities. Martinelli definitely is a credible option just because of how he played last season towards this season. But I'm going to go with Zinchenko because I just think that if you look at his impact...
He's gotten a couple votes in the chat.
You look at his impact on the team when he first came into the team. Yeah, his defending, he's never been great at defending. We know that. But I don't think he's been that good like on the ball this season when he has played. I just don't think we've seen the same Zinchenko.
I agree, Barga.
In terms of his playmaking, his passing, so I just don't think he's being the same player on the ball. We know I don't expect him to be the best defender in the world.
I was musing. I didn't hear this guy in the chat. Nice one. We're still talking about Balogun. Why? Once they've gone, you're gone. But yeah, I thought he's better than Eddie. I'll just add that about Eddie. I thought Balogun was better, but yeah, what it is. Luke's kind of convincing me a bit. Where is that disappointing one? It's tough call. There's a couple votes Eddie. There's a couple votes
Eddie.
On Martinelli, and that was my original thought. I don't know. Is there more in the chat?
Couple of votes for Zinchenko in the chat.
Yeah, it's a tough call. We do expect a lot from Martinelli and Zinchenko.
I'm surprised Bargav didn't vote
for.
I'm surprised Bargav didn't vote for Arteta instead of the players.
Most disappointing. It's tough. We're kind of close.
I think whoever gets. I just like to add whoever gets the number 14 jersey after Eddie finally leaves. We're going to have to get out the holy water. We're going to have to bless the bloody changing room. We're going to have to bless the number 14. We're going to have to do a whole ritual to kind of banish the demons of the missing the chances. You know what I mean? Otherwise, the same fate will happen to the new guy coming in. He'll just be crap.
Yours was Zinchenko, Luke, right?
Yeah. Perhaps, Dave, we should just give it to a defender to try and just say,
Saliba can play striker.
This is no longer a forwards number. We're going to give it.
MVP.
Well, I don't agree
That
with
alien
it.
person.
Maybe
Oh no,
Zinni
that's the
gets it,
AVP.
I guess. I don't know.
You're missing Cedric from the MVP options, guys.
Oh, God.
100%.
Disappointing. We'll go Zinni. We had young player Saka, most improved Kivior, best signing Rice. That was kind of unanimous. Pretty easy. Attacker Saka barely won. Saliba best defender. Where is it up here? What was our as a club? What was our best performance? I just threw out a couple ideas. Go ahead, Josh. You haven't gone first in a bit. Best. It's like I put a few out there. Like we won at the Emirates. We beat City finally. You know, people always give us that dig. We won. We shut them right down at the Etihad. We hammered West Ham 6-0. Liverpool at home was really good. There was lots of good ones, but yeah, it can be anything, Josh.
I think for me, like performance-wise, I'm going to sit on the fence a little bit because I got two. Like result-wise, was beating Man City at Emirates because we hadn't beat them since 2016. You know, year in year out, they would come to Emirates and they'll do us like even last season they've done us 3-1, which is a heart race. So it's very important to beat Man City, and we did do that. You know, we got 1-0 win. You know, it wasn't a spectacular performance, but the result, which is all that mattered. And Martinelli got us a crucial goal. We beat them 1-0. We'll tell that all day long. But performance-wise, it's got to be the West Ham game because we absolutely battered them away from home as well. Fans were leaving, you know, not even before halftime. It's, you know, they're a London rival.
They were screaming out at halftime there.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know, London rivals, and, you know, we absolutely battered them, which is...
And then Rice stuck in the dagger. Rice
as well. Scoring. Exactly, man. Rice against his former club as well. And the fact they did this at the Emirates as well is always nice to, you know, get a bit of revenge, go to their London Stadium and completely destroy them. So I think performance-wise, West Ham, result-wise, the City game at Emirates for me.
Fair enough. It's whatever, you know, it's to relive. It can be any game, but go ahead, Luke.
I think my one is the Liverpool game at home. I think we absolutely battered them.
And even the FA Cup one, we took it to them, and we were so unlucky.
Like, they only scored because of a freak goal, a couple of just bad mistakes by us. But I think we absolutely battered them from the first minute to the last. And I think even, Klopp didn't even... I don't remember him saying any of his normal stuff, like where he talks about the pitch or whatever he wants to say. I think he just accepted that he got beat by the better team for once. We was absolutely brilliant in that. You got to remember as well the context going into that game. They were 5 points ahead of us at that time. It was vital that we had to win that. It was a must-win game. We had to win that game because I think City were kind of ahead of us as well. So we had to, that was essentially to get us back in the title race, that game. And so for that reason, that's my favorite performance.
Nice. That's a good reason. Go ahead, Melina. Melina, who was your... The best could have been anything, really. I just threw a couple ideas out there.
Is it only Premier League or is it, can we include...
I also have one, I think. What did I call it? I'll put it up there. What was our best Champions League moment?
Okay. Thanks. So the Premier League one, I'm going to go City at the Emirates because for so long we've never beat Guardiola and Man City. So for us to beat Man City, just 1-0 to the Arsenal Classic, 1-0. I think that's a game where I would have nearly done another knee slide on my carpet. It was a great game, and I like that we finally got over that barrier and got over that hurdle mentality-wise as well. Best Champions League moment for me, I guess this might be biased because most of us went to that game, was the Porto penalty shootout.
Yeah, I can't help it for that one. Yeah.
I think I've rewatched that like 7 times, and I still act like I've never seen it before. Every time I watch it,
it's kind of doubly good. Like she's kind of right, guys. It's kind of doubly good because we won the game. And then all of a sudden we're having a penalty shot because the tie is tied, and you win that too. So it's like it was kind of almost a double win. But yeah, go ahead, Melina. I cut you off.
Oh no, that game was really good, and to get that Portuguese manager, I can't stand him.
Oh, Constantly
He's such a constant
Chelsea guys were bringing up him to come. I'm like, that
Oh my
fits, because then I can hate you more, Chelsea. That whole
he's
Chelsea
he's
thing.
such a sore loser, the guy.
Oh, he's a dirtbag. He was a play. Me and Luke, Dave, you'll remember him as a player. He was always diving. He was a good player. That's why I hate Portugal, Josh. Him and Ronaldo, they dive so much, like to get penalties. It's crazy.
Divers.
Wait, who's this? Who's this?
Conceição, that coach. We watched him when he was a player.
Oh, yeah, the manager. Yeah.
So long ago.
You know who was a real diver, and he was Portuguese? Nani at United.
Oh,
he was some diver.
He did it in the MLS slots. Nani, he came to Orlando.
Coward.
Yeah. So what were we at? We're still at best performance.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone went. Luke, did you go? No. Dave hadn't go. Dave has a gun, yeah.
Yeah, I haven't gone. I've been racking my brain there the last couple of minutes thinking about it, since everyone's been talking. You know what? I wouldn't say performance, but I would just say getting the job done and winning unfashionably. I would say the recent game at White Hart Lane. Especially the defensive performance. I'm not saying the performance in general in the game, but the result, the defensive performance at the end.
Wasn't it? We kind of dominated the second half
to get across the line and win that game.
Yeah, we kind of dominated the second half, and they scored 2 goals, but they dominated the first half, and we scored 3. It was bad.
But we shut the game out in the second half at the end. I mean, we needed to win. We needed to win. Bottom line, we needed to win. Otherwise, it was all over. The pressure that the team played under, it affected them a little bit. They weren't as good as they normally are. But for me, definitely the Spurs game away, the win against them. Yeah, regardless of what went on in the game, the fact that we got over the line and took the 3 points, we needed to win. The pressure on the team was just unbelievable. That for me was seriously, it doesn't matter what went on in the game. They got across the line and they won it. And the rearguard action in the last 10-15 minutes was admirable, I think. And Raya was a giant. Fielding the ball, relieving the pressure on the defense. Big up.
Big up,
Spurs away.
He was saying that
not because we beat them, not because we beat Spurs, not because it's an North London derby, because we needed to win it in the most challenging of circumstances.
Yeah, big up Bargap. PSP won. Yeah, we're gonna come to best Champions League moment, but yeah, maybe Bargap.
The Chelsea win was good too. Yeah, the win against Chelsea, the 5-0 was impressive as well.
Oh, that was a pure dominance. I don't know. Now that I didn't really go
at home against Newcastle, it was a good one.
Now that I didn't really go, you guys, and you got different ones, and old school Dave brought in a good one there. Oh, did I lose it at the bottom there? Best goal. Oh no, yeah, I clicked the wrong one though. But yeah, best goals coming up. But I meant to have best Champions League moment too. But yeah, mine was. Oh, I was gonna say like Luke, the Liverpool home domination, but I don't know. I kind of like the West Ham as the performance, because like I've never seen us dominate a team so much as that West Ham one. Like it was fun to watch. Like it was so clinical, like killing West Ham. So I guess that one gets 2 votes. Then I guess it might be that one, because isn't that what you went result and performance, didn't you, Josh?
Yeah. I went City result and obviously West Ham because the performance was crazy.
So it's tight. Lots of good votes. Melina, what did you say again?
Sorry, for which one?
The best performance, Arsenal. But you went in Champions League.
Champions League Porto, but for the league, I said Emirates beating Etihad. Man City cheats at home 1-0.
Yeah, that's got a couple votes too. We'll go with that one. Thanks, you guys.
Cheats.
And then, best Champions League moment. Melina gave hers. PSV said in the chat that was a pure domination. That was like the West Ham. It was so clinical.
Oh, it was so raining a lot.
PSV hadn't lost a game all year at that point. We just destroyed them.
Yeah.
But Luke, what was your best Champions League moment?
Best Champions League moment. That's a tough one, yeah, because I mean the PSV was the best performance in the Champions League.
What was your favorite?
Best moment? I think the best moment probably was beating Porto in the penalty shootout, though.
It's like a little double win, isn't it?
Just because we hadn't,
and they were.
I didn't even realise it's going into the game. You know, we hadn't got to the quarterfinals of the Champions League like for 14 years. Now, obviously, 7 of those years we weren't in it, but after 2010, we were still in the Champions League right up until the 16-17 season. So the fact that we hadn't got to the quarterfinals in all of those attempts, I know we always just got drawn against Barcelona or Bayern Munich, it seemed, and they would just completely destroy us. But I think it was a big moment for our team, for the fans. So, yeah, for that reason, I'll go for the penalty shootout win over Porto.
Nice. I like it. Josh, what was your best Champions League moment?
Yeah, I think it's got to be Porto, man. It's got to be Porto because Luke made a great point. Like, on the Champions League record, we was last 16. We couldn't make it past. I even remember, like, when we had Wenger, even when we played Monaco, like, we couldn't even beat Monaco in 2015, I think it was. They done us at the Emirates, and then we beat them away, but we lost on away goals. So it was always, either buying or pass that we would draw. But because we hadn't got quarterfinals in so long, I think it was, and obviously the way how we done it was so stressful, but, you know, Rai was a hero on the night, and, you know, we got to the quarterfinals, and I think that's got to be, you know, the main thing. I said at the start of the season, if we can get quarterfinals minimal, then I'll take that. You know, first season back in Champions League for a while, and I think the PSV game as well. Nice, you know, first game back in years, and we absolutely made a statement at the Emirates. You know, battered them 4-0, and as you said, Moss, they was on a great run of form, and you know they started off the season really well. And obviously they ended it. I think they won the league, didn't they? I think they lost one game the whole season, and so that was a great win. I think getting revenge on Lons as well when we patted them 6-0 at the Emirates after they did us 2-1 away from home. I thought the home form was excellent in the Champions League. Just the away form, I think, cost us a little bit. I remember like losing to Lons, losing to drawing with PSV. I know it's a dead rubber game. Obviously losing to Porto as well, and then obviously losing to Bayern Munich. But I think at home, Emirates was a fortress, and we would do really well at home. Just away, which let us down. But it's got to be the Porto game for me, man.
Okay, cool. Did we do everyone? Yeah.
Mine, I think you know what that's going to be. Porto again.
We kind of won.
Only because their manager was a scumbag and their team is scumbags, and it was nice to beat them.
Yeah.
They put the
They're
Canadian on last minute.
In the first
They
game,
disrespected Stefan Eustáquio. How dare they?
Yeah.
They brought him on.
scumbags.
The guys around me were like, "Who is that?" Kind of ripping him. Do you remember that, Luke? And I was
No.
just like, "It's not," and I just yelled, "It's not." He's Canadian.
Moss,
But,
you know when they
Porto game for me.
You know when they announced they're gonna bring him on, everybody, like, you know, in the stadium they chant who, and me, here I am. That's my Canadian.
Yeah, we were yelling for him. But yeah, I can't say Sal. He's a loser. You guys are all
Yeah,
right.
he's
That was
a prick.
the best. It was like a double win, like I said too, winning the penalty shootout. And
What do you think
we
of
should have won down
Lookman?
there. We played pragmatic down in Porto, and you
Lookman.
get scored on right at the end.
Yeah. What do you
Well-
think of Lookman?
Oh, he's really nice, isn't he? No.
He looks a good player, man. He
Really
looks
good
decent.
at like he was at Josh. He was in England when he was a young guy.
Yeah.
You know, in
Bolton
the
Moss.
championship,
Athletic, yeah.
bad team in Premier League, and everyone's he's no good. Well, man, now he's a man. He's really developed. He's made his game good. Like he's ready to rock.
He's a cool finisher. Cool.
He would be a great winger to have play either side. But man, Atalanta would want huge now. Sell high, buy low. That's why I don't like the ESR selling, maybe, because it feels like you're just selling at the low point,
Yeah.
But disappointing season. I guess there wasn't enough negative. Maybe Gomel on what was your most disappointing loss? Just the game we lost that was just the most disappointing.
Oh dear, the most disappointing performance. For me, there's a couple, but the one that stood out the most was this West Ham game. I flew all the way there. It was nearly like just after Christmas.
Oh, that was
And we had so many freaking chances, but bloody this goalkeeper was playing like prime Buffon, and bloody none of us could finish our dinner. We were kept heading the post or over the bar. I think one of those shots landed in my backyard. That's how bad it was. We were terrible, and it was soaking rain, and just to see that kind of performance, to lose to West Ham, it felt miserable, really miserable.
We had the extremes with West Ham. Maybe one of the
They were
best
blowing the
ballings
bubbles.
ever, and then we
Yeah.
choked the other one. Like,
And then in the Champions League, the most disappointing for me was Munich away. I mean, what the second half? What was that? What Arsenal team showed up for that? Because that's not the Arsenal team I'm used to. We looked like we were so nervous to take them up forward for a game. We looked so scared to press. Like, we just looked so frazzled and lost. And to see that live was very disappointing.
Yeah. I agree. Go ahead, Luke.
And to get knocked out of the competition, you know.
So my disappointment
was in
loss, but like worse, like the loss that was just so disappointing.
I think for me it was the follow up game to the West Ham game. I think the Fulham away was our worst performance, and the fact that when you lose, you just expect your team to just dust themselves off and be absolutely, playing angry that the fact that you lost, because that's normally how champions react. And the fact that we even went 1-0 up in that game and still played absolute dog shit was so disappointing to me. I know others will perhaps say the Aston Villa game, and the thing for me is that with the Aston Villa and the West Ham game is that I actually think we played pretty well in those games.
Yeah.
So for me, it's the Fulham away performance.
So disappointing. Old school Gunner business. So Dave, what was yours?
If you want a signed copy of my channel business card, please let me know and I'll sign it.
I asked for old school. You remember too, Melina and Josh. I was asking for old school.
Old school Gunner merch. Come on.
Yeah, I was wanting old school, and then I settled for getting this. Remember? Oh no, I already had it.
The flat beak, like Dave.
Flat beak, like old school.
I've got this patented, guys. Okay, don't try to rip it off, because I will find out where you live. I will and I let my cousin. You don't want him to come. You don't want him to come, guys. Trust me.
Jose,
6'6" on the plane on his back. I don't want to bring my cousin over.
You got to decide on one. Come on, Jose. Right. Teen Wolf, Jose. You got to decide.
Can I go next?
Yeah, go old school.
Can I go next? Because I'm just going to destroy the team, and I hope I don't upset any people. The Villa game.
Our most disappointing loss?
The Villa game. Absolutely.
Yeah, there you go.
That was absolutely the pits. I mean, it was just absolutely brutal. But you know what the thing is, right? Like I've been telling people, we were doing okay in the game. We hadn't got the lead, but look, it was 0-0 at half time. And we would have taken a point, but they went out in the second half. I don't know what was said to them in the change room. I don't know what the players themselves registered. Okay, we were up against a proper team. Villa are a proper team. Let's have it right. They are good. And they have a very good manager, as we know. But we went out in the second half like lambs to the slaughter. And of course, we got ripped apart. But I don't understand what all the pressure was coming from, because we didn't make the breakthrough in the first half. We were playing decent. What changed going out into the second half? Because we just played into their hands. I mean, everything fell apart. They absolutely mauled us for the 45 minutes. We got ripped to pieces. There was no heart. There was no conviction. There was no spirit. There was no fight. There was nothing going on out there. That was disappointing. I mean, we bounced back after that. And look, I give the team a lot of credit all season, but that game. But look, like I said, Villa are a serious outfit. They're not messing around. I mean, and that man, Ollie Watkins, he really showed us what he can do. Yeah.
When the players are stupid, like Villa players are like, this coach used to coach them and got kind of disrespected, Like you know, the players get up for that. That happens in hockey. You really want to get one for your new coach, like big time.
Yeah.
Win one over on us, and they did it twice.
We dropped
beat us
off,
twice.
man.
We tie
off.
Villa both those games or win one of them. You know, we might be Premier League chance.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was a shocking performance, though, man. That was shocking, man.
What about you, Josh? I'm having a tough time
I don't know what
deciding.
depressing.
Yeah, I'm with Dave. It's got to be the Villa game because the most disappointing thing about it was
Villa
it was
is-
Emery, man. And as much as I actually rate Emery, I think he's a quality manager, by the way. Just didn't work out at Arsenal. Just losing to him, not for the first time. You know, losing both times to him. Even when he's at Villarreal, he done us. He just has a way of playing against us, which always works. And he seems to always get the better of us, and it just hurts because he was like ex-manager and. You know, yeah, as you said, Moss, he got a bit of disrespect, and then he comes back and beats us. So I think that's the most disappointing thing about it was when we lost to him. As much as I think he's a good manager, you know, he's at the Emirates as well. Just that whole feeling. I think, as Dave rightly said, the first half we actually did all right. I thought the first half we were in control, and as Dave said, like, what did this Arteta say to him at half time? Because it's a completely different second half.
Yeah,
you know, no fight, you know, no desire, and Ollie Watkins turned up, Leon Bailey turned up, and we got punished, man. So it has to be that one for me.
Nice one, Josh. Yeah, I don't. It's a category I don't even want to put up there and say who won, you know, kind of thing. It's the Seki category. But yeah, I'm with most people in the chat. Bayern, you know, shout out for that being I just thought we were good enough to beat Bayern both those games. And then to lose them just 1-0, and Kimmich, Mel kind of agrees. She said Bayern. We've been having the goals. One go on the ticker below for a while now. Do you want to go over that one? It's been on the ticker at the bottom going around. I just put out a few ideas, but the Martinelli beating City, because we said, you know, that was one of the best moments. That was maybe the best moment, best win, you know, that City one. You know, I put that one up there. Rice scoring on West Ham just because they cleared half of them out. And then the ones that say
Jesus against United was a good one.
You forgot a goal here, Moss. You forgot Havertz's first goal against Chelsea. And the way he celebrated. Oh, my days.
Yeah,
that pass. First of all, that pass before the goal and the way he scored that goal.
Like, there's a few for Havertz.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one was
Jesus against United was a good one.
Yeah. Oh, Dalot.
Third goal.
Dalot was sliding.
Yeah. That was a nice one. And it really kind of, we sucked it to them.
Well, he said Jesus versus United. Dalot was sent back to Portugal. Big up Bavada London.
And Ten Hag was like this. I do my Ten Hag impression sometimes. He was like this. Just imagine no hair and stuff. You know what I mean? Some Dutch guy. Ten Hag, arrogant. You know what I mean? Brilliant. Fantastic.
Well, did we all agree on City at the Emirates or best Premier League performance?
Yeah, you kind of won. Just barely. But yeah. Best goal. I had some. Yeah, I added that one too. Go ahead, Josh. What did you think?
Yeah, that one was a good one. Pick up the Vada London.
Your most favorite goal or the best goal, however you want it, whatever kind of thing you want to talk about for goal.
Yeah, I think best goal for me.
What about your most favorite goal of all time for Arsenal?
For me? God, you can't get better than the Bergkamp fucking on Newcastle. Like, who is ever going to do that move ever? Like, pull that off. Like, that is unbelievable. Bergkamps.
Yeah.
Panorama on Newcastle. Sorry, Josh. You were going to go on to the best goal.
Kenty against Sheffield United as well.
Could be anything. I just threw out there. I put Molina's Havertz beating Chelsea.
Yeah, I think for me, it's going to have to be... I'm going to go Declan Rice's against West Ham for me. I think that's going to be the best goal. Just because it's against football club as well. And the whole unbelievable finish. For me, it's got to be that one, man. I think that's the best goal.
Do you remember that goal, you guys? Odegaard and Trossard both were like going to go for it. Odegaard and Trossard.
Yeah, and they missed it.
And then it goes to Rice and he just fucking spiked it in there. Like, it was hilarious.
There was a famous beer advert.
Go ahead.
I don't suppose any of you guys would. I mean, maybe Dave might have seen it when he was in Ireland. It was I think it was John Smith's and Peter Kay, and it was just everyone was faffing about, and he just whacks the ball and says "have it," and basically
I remember it.
Yeah, that Declan
and he
Rice,
goes, "Have it."
that Declan Rice just was like, right, get out the
reminded you of
effing
that.
way, you to have it. That's what that goal reminded me of. But there's a lot of good. I mean, Jesus actually scored a really good goal against Sevilla as well, didn't he?
Yeah, he was banging that game.
And Martinelli's goal against Sevilla was good, really good. I think my favourite goal probably is the Havertz one, not just because it was Havertz against Chelsea, but the ball by Odegaard was unbelievable. Also, actually, the goal Trossard's goal against Porto, because that was probably the assist of the season as well from Odegaard.
Nice.
Oh yeah, those are good ideas.
So,
Jesus.
Yeah, I'd probably go for Havertz just because it includes Chelsea, and if I can have a dig at Chelsea or any of our rivals, I will always take
that must just have been awesome for him.
Yeah. And the fact that he celebrated as well, he didn't do this like a lot of goal.
He didn't hold back.
A lot of players don't celebrate, and I have no problem if a player played for us and wants to celebrate. I've got no problem with that, unless they don't. Adebayor, bit of an exception. That was what he did wasn't right, but celebrate, man. And because
Adebayor's a scumbag.
Yeah, but the goal he scored when he was at City, and he went running. Absolute,
scum.
You don't do that, but
you know the song about him, right? I'm not going to sing the song. Melina's a lady. I'm not going to sing the song, but you know the song about him, right?
Yeah, I do. I used to go a lot during those days.
Fucking scumbag. Fucking scumbag. Fucking man. Sorry, no guys.
Maybe some future best goals. Go ahead. Who's your favorite, or who you think's our best? Like just super young guys. These guys are so young. Like MLS is 16.
I have to say
17 now. Nwaneri's just turned 17.
Martin
Obi is setting records, scoring goals. He's on Denmark under 17s right now, just killing it. Melina, who's your best youth?
He's not on here, but my best youth player. Just incredible to see him, and I really hope he signs a new contract with Arsenal. Is no other than Mario Dewberry.
Oh, lad, I'm sure he's 18.
Phenomenal player.
He's getting old. He's 18, Josh. He's older than Josh, for Christ's sake. He's old.
He won Player of the Month for April.
17 and a half.
And some of the goals he scored has been phenomenal. The way he plays, he's so fluid on the ball. It's like mustard. The way he plays, the link-up play, his goals scored. He's so fast-paced.
17 and a half.
I hope he has a bright future with Arsenal. And hopefully they keep him, because they promised him first team football. But hopefully they live up to that promise.
Yeah. Nice one.
I tell you, I wish I was 17 again. Like, look at the stadium. I look like a car wreck. Compared to me, I look like a car wreck.
You know, my favorite.
17 again.
One of my favorite.
I look like shit.
One of my favorite
look at me
goals.
Like I've got a face like an ass. You know what I mean?
One of my favorite goals of all time. It's not really like the Henrys or the Bergkamps, but Jack Wilshere scored a wonder goal against Norwich.
That was awesome.
I think like 9-10 years ago, but it was incredible, and it's one of the goals we'll remember.
You know who scored a lot of good goals actually? He had like this purple patch. Aaron Ramsey.
Oh yeah, he was my dude.
Oh yeah, man.
At a certain point, he was scoring some sweet goals, man.
He would score a lot of game-winning goals. A lot.
Even Sanchez, Sanchez versus City. This is a good one to mention. What a player he was.
Sanchez versus Basel was good as well. He cracked it against Basel in the Champions League.
Dave, who's your favorite really young guy? Best youth, you think? Nwaneri or what?
Yeah. Nwaneri.
Josh?
Definitely, yeah. He's
same as Mel. It's got to be Kuza Dewberry. I think he just it's Saka region.
Sorry, Josh. Go ahead, Josh.
No. I'm just saying he's like Saka, man. Literally the next Saka, bro.
Yeah. 18. I kind of went for super young here, but yeah, that young Danish striker guy is crazy good. But Nwaneri, I would give my vote to. Luke, you?
Yeah, I don't really get the opportunity to watch the youth teams much, and so the only one I've really seen is Enweneri, because basically when he's played for us, or I've seen him for
all the clip.
The England as well. Like he was, excuse me, when I've seen him for England youth teams as well, along with MLS. So yeah, I'll go with Enweneri as well.
ECD a couple, Nwaneri a couple. What did Dave say?
Nwaneri, I think.
Nwaneri.
Okay, so he
I
gets
think
it.
Mario wants to vote.
Yeah, we got to wrap up. The big one we finally kind of didn't do, but before that, who just won again? It was
ACD, right?
No, Nwaneri.
Yeah, Ethan.
He won.
Yeah, we didn't do the women's team. Yeah, we need to start on the women's team.
We didn't do women's, but who's your favorite lone player? Who do you think should come back, kind of thing? Who's your favorite lone player? Mine is that Mika B.
Hey, why is Tierney not on?
Where's Tierney, Mom?
Tierney.
Oh, Tierney.
Ross has a Tierney agenda.
You can vote for him, Josh.
Tierney.
Don't worry.
Tierney's gone now. Selena, Tierney's gone. Just forget about Tierney. Tierney's dead to us. He's gone.
Mine was Beereth.
Forget about him. He's
just for Josh. Just for Josh's sake, I'll put freaking KT.
Come on, the song goes Tierney at the back. Gabby in attack. Come on.
His Loney spell wasn't too good. It was racked with injuries.
Wow, he's got Tierney top.
But that's mine. Mine's Mika Beereth. Mine's Mika Beereth. Go ahead, Mel.
Yeah, mine is also going to be Mika Beereth. I think he had a really good loan spell. I wish we kept Omari, but it's a shame how things ended. He had a really good season with Ipswich, and they just got promoted. But I'm going to go with Mika Beereth. I think he had a really good season on loan.
Yeah, and there's Mel. There's he did really good at Motherwell too, and then the Canadian came in, Theo Blair, and ripped it up Motherwell too. But yeah, Beereth had 2 good loan spells last year, this season. Go ahead, Luke.
Well, I think Mika Beereth had the most successful loan spell, didn't he? I mean, he won. Did he win the double? Was it the double we won in Austria?
Yes. For Salzburg, was it?
Sturm Groups.
No, yeah, Sturm Graz. That's Arnold Schwarzenegger's team.
So. Yeah. I mean, I didn't watch it. I haven't seen any of it. The only one I've actually seen, I've seen Sambi, and I've seen Kieran Tierney at Sociedad. Kieran Tierney's had fine. He's done fine for Sociedad. Yeah, you know.
When he played, yeah, he did good.
When he played, yeah, he had that. He did do his hamstring, which was unfortunate, and he was absolutely gutted. But I was watching the game when that happened, because he was actually started off pretty well playing. They were whacking him there, so gutted for him. I do love Kieran Tierney, like Josh. You know, I think he's he's just a top bloke, isn't he? You know, so I'll probably go. I'll vote for Beereth just because of the impact that he's had at both clubs, Motherwell and Sturm Graz. But Kieran Tierney is definitely worth a vote as well.
Nice one. Go ahead.
Yep. What was that?
Who was up next, Dave?
Yeah, I can go. I think Sambi or Tierney.
Sambi played really good. You talked to Luton fans on YouTube. They thought fucking Sambi did awesome. Yeah. There were some
Sambi Lukonga, man. He was alright, you know. And Tierney as well as
we might get money player. For Sambi now.
No, we need to offload a lot of players. I mean, if anyone knows Dre that comes on my channel, Dre is always at the games. He's living very close to the stadium, but he says he has a short list there where he was looking at like 11 players is what we kind of need to get rid of.
Yeah, there's quite a
few.
tough
calls need to be made.
We forget about all these loanee. We forget about all the loanee guys. We think about who we're selling off our main team.
Yeah.
Josh,
some tough calls need to be made.
That's Loney, Tierney. There we go.
It's got to be
Tierney.
It's got to be Tierney.
JT.
KT.
It's JT, not KT. It's Josh Tierney.
Josh Tierney.
JT, not KT. Josh Tierney.
I like Josh Tierney. Yeah, it's gotta be Tierney,
Where's
man.
Chelsea dad? He always thought Mount had more
JT,
goals.
not John Terry anyway. Not John Terry.
Not
Josh
no,
Tierney.
Yeah, Josh Tierney. Come on.
Wow.
No relation to John Terry. No relation.
Mika Bereth, I guess, wins though. He got the most. But shout out Torlonis, make us some money, make us look good. We need you to play. Best youth player. But yeah, the biggest one, and I'll tell you about the votes first so far on our poll vote was for MVP. I can only put 4 on there. I put 6 on the running score there. 45% Saliba. Right now, 26% Declan Rice, 19% Odegaard, 10% Saka.
Wow.
You know my vote's Odegaard, so go ahead, Dave. If you want.
Was he frozen?
I'll put MVP. Oh, maybe he froze out. I got MVP at the
Is
bottom.
he frozen or is he just
Josh.
Back.
You were so still, I thought you were frozen.
I had MVP options up below on the ticker there going all the time. They're back under there. But yeah, when it's 6 players, like I said, my vote,
like the Eurovision. You know what I mean?
Like Odegaard, and now Dave's back. Yeah, so Dave, go ahead. I was saying Odegaard. You kind of were for attacker, so is your MVP the same or what?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, Odegaard.
Go ahead, Josh.
I mean, it's a no-brainer. It's a simple one. I mean, I can't deny Odegaard's what he has produced for the team in the last season. I mean, it can't be equaled for me anyway.
Nice. Go ahead, Josh. What do you think?
I'm gonna go with who I said in defense. I'm gonna go Saliba. I'm gonna go Saliba for me. You know, same reasons really. Most consistent player. I think he got man of the match performances away at Etihad, away at Anfield, and another game, Old Trafford. That was it when we beat them 1-0. So it's got to be Saliba, man. This guy is Rolls Royce, one of the best defenders. Yeah, one of the best defenders in Europe.
He was unanimous for defender. Josh, before you finish, I meant to say to start what helps us decide MVP too, and you can start it, Josh. I didn't let Dave get in there, but top 3, like what would be your top 3 picks? Mine would definitely be Odegaard, Saliba, then Declan Rice. But what is yours, Josh?
Yeah, I think similar to you, Saliba, Rice, and it's got to be Odegaard, man. Like this season. Yeah, this season he's been
3 stars. It's kind of a Canadian tradition. 3 stars. Go ahead, Dave.
Yeah.
3 stars the whole season. You had Odegaard.
You'd have to say Rice, Saliba, and Odegaard. I mean, it picks itself.
So Odegaard was 1, then Saliba or Rice?
Odegaard, yeah. Odegaard is first, then Saliba, then Rice.
Okay, go ahead. Okay, now you know it, Luke. You know what we were doing. Top 3. Who's your MVP? You can go 3, 2, 1.
Then the women's team.
Whatever you want to do.
Yeah, my MVP is Martin Odegaard. I think
nice.
I like the MVP debates. Some people will have different ways of how they approach it.
Exactly.
As you know, Moss knows everything about North American sports, as does Mel. And sometimes they say when a player is missing, you can gauge it by that. I think Odegaard isn't missing often. I just don't. If you look at, I think Saka's a very, very close call as well, as is Saliba. I don't think there's anyone in our squad that can do what Odegaard does. Yeah, he's
a good way to look at it too.
So I think, yes, you could talk about him as the player, but if he was to be in, if he was, God forbid, to get injured for a couple of months, we'd be in serious trouble. Yeah. And maybe Fabio would step up, or someone else might step up, but as I don't know that, I have to go with Martin Odegaard. I think he's a really good leader as well. I was always questioning Arteta why he picked him as captain in the first place because I didn't really see him as a leader. I think he's really grown into that.
Yeah, even more the second.
I thought he was. Yeah, Mel know this. I thought he was going to be like a John Tavares type captain. You know, I love John. Yeah, John Tavares is a nice. John Tavares, by the way, is the captain of the Toronto Maple Leafs. He's a very nice bloke, but
Captain Canada, and we didn't win. He
hasn't really got much fire in his belly. You know, he's a bit boring as well. But and I just looked at Martin Odegaard and I thought, I'm not sure about this guy as captain. You know, but I think he's really grown into the role, and I think as well.
Big up Nicholas Yover. Yeah, big one, Tony.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking.
If
Mel loves that guy too.
I would like that. I would actually like.
Oh, who is your second and third, Luke? Sorry.
Our second, I think second would be Declan Rice, and third
There's
would be
Jose's. Nice. We're getting some different ones. Jose is Odegaard, Gabriel, Magalhaes, Ben White. Go ahead, Melina. You've seen what we're doing, like top three.
Yes, Moss, I gotta
Luke
go.
said really good, and Melina's got to go. So give
Unfortunately, I gotta go. My mom's literally at the door waiting for me to get finished.
Go ahead.
We're not letting you leave, Melina. You can't. You can't pack up now.
Guys,
Baker go last.
my
Melina,
top 3
this is your gang
stars.
initiation.
My top 3 stars is
Jordan,
Odegaard
be quiet.
number 1.
Jordan, be quiet.
Odegaard number 1, Saliba number 2, and third I'm gonna put Kai Havertz.
Nice.
Melina,
Everybody
you can't
says
leave.
Declan
You're
Rice.
in the gang now.
Everybody
You're in the
says
gang.
Declan
Welcome
Rice,
to the
but
gang, Melina.
Declan Rice was my signing of the season. I think he deserves a separate category, so I'm gonna put Declan Rice there. And thanks everyone for having me on the show. Unfortunately,
Melina, I just have one more question for you, Melina.
thanks.
I just have one more question. Which Arsenal player do you fancy the most?
I think
Melina.
Number one,
Does it chill
Raya.
up Eddie Blanco the most?
Number 1, Raya. Number 2, Saliba. And number 3, Havertz.
Okay.
I thought it was Benny Blanco.
But I gotta go, guys. Thanks for having me on the stream. More
Melina,
than
take it easy,
360 people watching. Guys, please subscribe to True Gooner, Old School Gunner. Check out his business cards. They're signed.
I got my business card. I
And
can send you one
subscribe
if
to
you want to autograph
Mossdsports.
it.
Guys, thank you for having me on the stream. Really sad that I have to go, but my mom's literally at the door.
Take care, yeah. Take care, Melina.
Take care, Mel.
Bye,
Take care, Mel.
everybody.
Big up, Mel.
Mom's there.
She's actually
Yeah,
gone.
any-
I thought she was only
Any
joking.
lost
Oh,
thoughts?
she is
I
actually
think we hit everything.
Oh my God! Look, the Premier League celebration police is here. Wow!
Mom is on Man United.
It's Richard Keys, is it?
It is.